Cool. So last time, as we were playing Descent into Avernus, you guys
You got to do
were
the Twitch thing.
Twitch.com/game mediocre with two
Stream
M's.
mediocre.
Oh, you know what it is. Oh, stream
One word,
mediocre.
stream mediocre.
Stream
yeah.
mediocre.
Jeez, you're
Please
the two that have
tune
access
in.
to it and you don't know.
I actually don't have access to it. I logged into it once to set up the hosting feature, and then I haven't logged back into it since then. But yeah, what did we say it was?
Twitch.tv/stream mediocre. One word.
There you go.
.com. Tune in every single day.
There's no .com. It's .tv.
/ crit roll. Just kidding.
Yeah. Sorry.
Visit our merch store that definitely exists and give us lots of money.
Definitely.
Yeah. Thanks.
See this cool merch I'm wearing?
Yeah, nailed it. We'll Photoshop that
This
later.
isn't merch. The
Right?
stream's not sponsored by
Whoa!
Square Enix, so. But yeah, last time you guys were solving the mystery of Shemshine's best bedtime rhyme in the Firefly cellar, where you all had been kind of relegated to. Yeah, going absolutely crazy, casting spells and sprinting across all 3 floors, looking around, trying to solve mysteries, singing the whole way, not able to keep yourselves from singing half the time. Everybody's frustrated and running out of ideas. But, Uvarheim, as you begin to make your way towards the bindery, as you were, you feel that, well, first of all, let's remind everybody, the air feels very thick here. It's like moving through pudding. It feels like your bodies are slow. The air is super cold in here. You can see your breath. But despite all that, you still see little wisps of a similar, very familiar looking, like incense smoke. You see little thin strands of smoke as they start to wisp their way through the air. And in the last few moments, in your panicked rush to get to the bindery, you slow for a second, and you're almost comforted by this scent and by this sensation. And just as you're embracing that sensory experience, you feel yourself start to lose consciousness. And the last thing you feel as these wisps of smoke caress your face is just the sensation of falling and absolute blackness. And everybody... Oh, in fact, hey, yeah, Uvarheim, since you're the only not rested character, go ahead and hit long rest for me real quick.
Okay.
So you've got all your stuff put together.
It's absolute blackness, guys.
It is absolute blackness.
Okay, I'm long rested.
Great. After this kind of short sensation of falling, you, and in fact the rest of you also see, though you haven't seen each other yet, you are all granted a vision. And what you guys see is the warm interior of what looks like a stone-walled, just quaint little house. Through the windows, you can see there's a very warm yellow sunlight coming through the glass windows. Outside, you can see it's pretty idyllic countryside with trees and brush, just kind of lightly tapping against the window, even as the cool breeze runs by outside. What you guys see in front of you is what looks like a young woman just sort of sitting up in bed. She has long orange hair, and she has a little pure white cat that she has held in her lap. And you guys can hear she's just sort of gently holding it, playing with it, stroking it as a good cat owner would. But as she sort of leans into this cat, she talks quietly, and you guys can still hear. She says, "Say, you cats have 9 lives, do you not? Since you have so many, why not spare one for me?" And as soon as you hear her say that, you also hear the sound of what sounds like a heavy wooden door being opened. The sound of wood scraping against wood as it's pushed across the floor. The slight squeak of metal as the hinges carry it into the room. And actually, at this point, I'd like all three of you to please give me a perception check.
Okay. 9. Whoa.
13.
19.
19, yeah. So, I mean, Uvarheim, you're looking at this scene and you're just kind of instantly struck by like how warm and comforting this feels. You know, it's somebody's bedroom and it's a warm summer evening. You're just kind of lost in the experience. Boy, what is your name? Zabet? How do you say that?
Zabet.
Zabet. Yeah, Zabet, you look and you can see that this cat is now almost looking directly at you guys with piercing yellow eyes. And it's something about, even though they're backlit, these eyes almost seem to glow as this cat almost makes eye contact directly with you.
And I'm sorry, is there a girl in the bed with the cat?
Yes. So what I was saying was that there's a young woman. It's kind of sat up in bed. She's just like cradling this cat in her lap. There's fairly well to do room. Like all of the furniture is like carved wood. She's got a very large, what looks like quilted blanket over her, and she's just in like pajamas basically, and she's just kind of holding this cat in place and like doing what cat owners do, doing the little ha ha paw dance and like petting it and just enjoying its company. But yeah, as you hear this door open, you see with your roll of, was it 12?
Yeah, 13, yeah.
13, yeah. This cat is looking almost directly into your eyes.
I will very slowly, sheepishly begin to move towards it with the hand outstretched.
When you do that, where you expect your hand to be, there's nothing. You feel like you've moved your body. You pushed your hand out. You will your hand to move, and what you see is just nothing. And in fact, when you take a moment to kind of look around, the like edges of your vision are just a little bit hazy. Boy, if Fox Million were here, I would be like, it's kind of like how Chapter Master Jur told you a like a divination spell would feel, as if you weren't, like, your body wasn't truly there, even though you have the will to act. Zestara, what you see with a 19, you not only make eye contact with this cat, but in the reflection of this cat's eyes, you can see the silhouette of a man. And in fact, you all start to hear, as this door kind of scrapes open, that you hear really heavy, booted footsteps. Zestara, you can see the silhouette of a man approaching in these cats' eyes.
We're not alone, guys. There's a man.
When she says that, can I hear her?
No, and in fact, when you try to will yourself to speak in a similar way that Zabet tried to reach out his hand, it's like being in a dream where you're trying really hard to talk. You feel like you're calling out, but no sound is being produced. After a few seconds of hearing this man's footsteps, your visions all fade to black once again, and you're all greeted now this time by this similar wispy, their hand, you got it, by this similar wispy incense smoke, and it smells spicy and it smells comforting. But after a moment, you all kind of reorient yourself, and it seems like it happens in just a blink, but when you close your eyes and reopen them, all three of you are sitting in what looks like some kind of small room. It's a pair of, like, not leather, but the red riveted chairs. They're usually made out of some sort of soft cloth and stuffed full. So these are, pretty nice chairs. But you see that this room that you've all appeared in is mostly made out of wood walls. There are For those of you who are just sitting on one side, there are windows directly to your left, and you can see. In fact, see. Let's see. Who's where? Yeah, so Zabet, you look across and you see a very odd-looking metal man and what looks like a very relatively small creature with wings, kind of flitting about in space, where they might normally sit if they sat, but this one isn't.
I just my 6 foot tall, large framed body and my large curved horns. I just like kind of look over to each of you and just put up a big old hand.
Hello, big cow man.
When you say that, my head drops low.
Hello.
Is there something down there? Oh, hello. What does she look like?
Yeah, describe your character, Amanda.
I'm a pretty little fairy. I
I made a joke
You
about
are the
having a fairy
prettiest fairy.
companion.
what?
I made a joke about us having a fairy companion.
I'm an absolute fairy.
That's awesome.
Total fairy. So I have wings. I'm itty bitty bitty. I have the long curly brownish hair, and I kind of I have a little flower headbandy thingy, and then if you could see, because my wrists are so tiny, I do have like a star charm bracelet on.
Yeah, and when she says that this creature is tiny, she's not joking. For as small of creatures or humanoids that you ever known or had a relationship with, um, like even the smallest gnome, this creature is even smaller than that. She's maybe like a foot and a half, 2 feet tall, and just kind of flitting through the air.
When I
Whoa.
see Zastra, my eyes kind of light up as I watch you, and a big old toothy grin pops open. My body is just covered in fur, and I have like a very classic, like just a leotard on covering my front and back side, and then a few like leather bands around me where some weapons and gears holstered. But other than that, I'm pretty bare. But when I see you, I like light up and my eyes go wide, and I make myself smaller than you and just look at you in amazement.
Whoa, are
Very
you
good.
a bird?
I'm not a bird, I'm a fairy.
What? Is that
Are
a
you
type
a
of
robot?
bird?
Birds.
Are you a robot? But I'm like floating and flying and like a figure eight around you guys. Just
I
making you
guess.
dizzy. Are you a robot?
I was made by my father, so
Interesting.
I guess you could say that.
So as Zastar is kind of floating around the cabin here, and you guys are all kind of watching her do her maneuvers, doing figure eights and kind of swimming around you guys, one thing that catches your attention is out the window, you see what looks like a very strange landscape. You see, kind of trees as you might expect to see them in the winter, kind of devoid of leaves. There are a few sparsely like populated, not very many leaves, bushes out there. And they seem to be kind of moving by. You guys can now feel it as you're paying attention to the sensory input of the window, and now taking stock of your person. Yeah, it kind of feels like you guys are moving. And what you see besides the trees is that the sky, and in fact the air all around this container, whatever you're in, is almost completely covered in very dense fog. And what little light does come through, it's purple. So it looks like you're traveling through some kind of like weird purple clouded landscape as you seem to be moving in whatever this vehicle is you've found yourself in.
If I look down out the window, like, are we off the ground?
Yeah, so do you want to like open the window and like stick your head out?
I was about to ask
Yes.
myself as well, do the windows open?
Yeah. When you guys move over to the windows, there are three windows in here. So it's a set of three that kind of make up almost the entire top half of the wall for this little cabin that you guys are in. But yeah, all you go and you each take a window and unlatch it. There are very simple little twist locks on there, and you are each able to raise your windows up.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh.
If I can stick my head and horns out, I will. And with my hair blowing out there, I say wow. I don't know if anyone can hear me, but I just say wow. And I'm just looking around.
Yeah, and you guys, I mean, you're just kind of like trying to take the scenery, and you're not trying to do like anything. You're not like hanging halfway out the window or anything. So,
Uvarheim is probably hanging third out the window.
yeah, no problem. You might get past your arms to really, try to take a good look straight down, and you do without much issue. It's pretty well built, these wooden, cross beams that you're leaning on. So, yeah, you take a look down, and sure enough, it looks like you're maybe like 5 feet off the ground. The wood of this container, yeah, this basically train car, is almost meets the ground, but besides these little tracks that you guys are rolling on.
I pull myself out the window. My horns get caught, and I jostle them loose, and I turn and I look over at the floating ferry, and I run over and I try and grab your hand, and then I try and pull you to the window, and I just start pointing.
I
Why are
look.
you?
Do you
sorry.
what?
I don't know if I like somebody pulling on me, but apprehensively I will go.
I drag you over to the window and just kind of point at stuff.
Do you
Yeah.
talk?
Can I talk?
I just look
No,
at you and then
I
look
know
back
you
out the
talk.
window.
Big cowman.
I
What is your name? I have learned from the mammals that you need to exchange names.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. I kind of have a heavy sigh, and then I reach down to one of the pouches on my belt, and I pull out this little piece of leather that has like a hardened wooden piece that's like snapped, and on there you see it says Zabet, but it's broken on either side. It's like stitched into this, but it says Zabet.
I
Z-A-B-E-T.
think his name is Z-Beat.
Zeb.
Nailed it.
Drop the beat!
Drop this
Drop
beat.
the
Put it back in my pouch, and
Oh.
I look back out the window, just look around.
Why can't you just say that? You're being very weird right now.
Say Z-Beat.
I look,
Z-Beat.
So,
I sigh.
as you guys are
and-
bullying this poor Minotaur, you
Bigger
hear
than
from
both of us.
the hallway something clearing their throat, just going. And when you all look to see where this sound came from, what you see in the door to this little cabin you guys are in is, oh well, it's just like a little gray cat. And in fact, he seems to be staring right at you, Uvarheim. And after you guys take a minute to kind of like take in this really kind of bizarre
I run over to him.
circumstance. Oh yeah, definitely.
Immediately.
And he's good. Yes.
Whoa!
Pleased
talks?
to meet you, Sir Sorcerer.
Sorcerer?
Cat speaking?
What? Wait, cats can talk?
Well,
I didn't know they talked this
I
whole
just pet
time.
and pet and pet and pet.
I'm very confused.
yeah, and he seems to actually be enjoying it. As for every like stroke, you push your hand down the back of his neck and along his back. He's totally into it. Like, doesn't know you, but man,
And
cats,
I'm
they sure do
extremely
love attention.
gentle.
Oh, that's so good. He looks elated to be receiving this sort of attention. But through kind of closed, relaxed eyes, as you make the comment, what did you say exactly, Uvarheim?
He was just astonished that cats
can
can
talk.
talk this whole time. He didn't realize that cats talked. Oh, I've been like ignoring them this whole time.
Well,
So weird.
As if
That
Uvarheim
may
were
be
weird enough when we
true.
get back to descent. This is going to be even worse.
Perhaps that would be surprising for a cat in its first or second life, but this is my seventh. There would be something wrong with me if I couldn't talk.
Oh my
So you
And
died 6 times and now you can speak?
as he's saying that, from the seat next to, let's see, where did you all sit down again? Like, if you kind of walk back and forth again, did you all, who sat next to who? Let's just say.
I'll be across from both of them, maybe?
Sure. Okay. So yeah, we have Zastar and Zabet over there. They're enjoying their time with Kitty Cat, and Uverheim. You hear from directly to next to you. That's true, you know. And what you see sitting in the chair next to you is this sort of. It's hard to tell exactly because he looks like there's a large beak like a kenku, but his entire face is covered in this deep black, like, I don't want to say like a shawl. It's like just even a square piece of cloth that seems to be draped over the entirety of his face. He's wearing these sort of black with red little pinstripes along the edge robes, and have these kind of white adornment. You know, like when you graduate and you graduate summa cum laude and you get the like actual like fancy shawl. So he's got something like that down the front of his robe. It's like a white bar, but with black filigree all filled in. And over two, what looks like pretty well clawed hands, you see he's just wearing like a pair of really like regal, gentlemanly like gloves.
Is his body? You said he has a beak coming out similar to a kenku. Does he have feathers, or is he like a humanoid with this feature?
Yeah, you can see along his neck, and in fact, even on just a little bit of a beak that's kind of sticking out from underneath this shawl. Yeah, these all look avian features. You can spot the sheen of like black feathers. But one thing that you do notice is that his robe kind of tucks up into his arms in a way that might not be comfortable for a kenku to do. Like usually kenkus have some semblance of a wing. This individual has just straight up arms.
Interesting.
What's true? And also, are you a bird?
Well, I'm a bird of a sort. What I was saying it was true about, though, is that it's true that cats have 9 lives.
Oh, how many lives does it take for this cowman to talk?
Well, first of all, I don't know, but everybody should do what they're comfortable doing.
I glare over at Uverheim as I continue to pet the cat, and then I
don't
refocus on the
know.
cat.
I don't know if he likes you calling him cowman, or maybe that he doesn't know how to speak. I don't know. Maybe you should call him Z-Beat.
Zibit.
Zibit, I'm sorry if you don't like being called what you are.
Wow.
At that point, I will do a heavy sigh. I stand up, I turn around, I look over and go, "That's not what I am." You know,
Oh, okay. What are you then?
I'm a 6-year-old girl. Some sort of witch turned me into this creature, and I've been this
Sick.
way
I love it.
for about a year. I don't like it. People think I'm a big, hairy man-beast thing. That's not me. I'm just a
Sorry
little
for
girl.
that.
I don't talk because, obviously, my voice doesn't match. My full name's
Does it?
Elizabeth, but this is the bracelet my dad gave me, and only the middle part of my name still remains. So I just go by Elizabeth.
So it's not Z-Beat.
No,
I'm sorry.
it's okay. You're fun. And
I think you're fun.
and
It's okay,
Even though
little
you're
girl.
like this hairy, even though you're this like really hairy big old man outside, and that inside you're a sweet little girl, I mean, you could crush things.
I mean, I have. Kind of had to. I got lost out in
I
the
think-
woods after the witch turned me into this thing and I had to smash a lot of creatures. They tried to eat me. I had to
I
defend
think
myself.
That's pretty fun.
I'm pretty strong.
Ooh.
At this
I
point,
wish I
this
was
sort of
bigger.
avian creature speaks up again and says, "Well, I'm glad that we've all been introduced, but it's true. And in fact, what this gentleman says is also true. Cats become wiser with each of their lives.
Interesting.
Ooh.
What happens
And-
at 8 lives? Should we find out?
Well, at this point, the cat speaks up and he's like, "Well,
I pick up the cat and cuddle it whenever she says that and says, "No, you will not." I'm like petting it, holding it.
Don't squish it too hard, Zabet.
I would never.
and you can
have
see this
a lot of
cat's
strength.
body, like, you know how cats do when you like run your hand along, and even if you were to pet really like forcefully, their body just kind of flows like liquid around your hand. That's exactly what this cat's doing. Is every time you pat, he just kind of stretches into the back end of that motion. But he says, and it's true. We even have the idea of countries and kings among cats. And as he says that, you guys hear far off in the distance. It sounds almost too far to perceive. You hear what sounds like a whistle, and this container, this vehicle that you're in, you feel it start to lurch a little bit. Yeah, as it feels like the momentum is starting to slow, and you're kind of reaching whatever destination you might have been moving towards. The cat hearing this says, and speaking of kings, our king of cats awaits in Ulthar, Sir Sorcerer.
Cool. Wait, are you talking to me?
Well, yeah, naturally. You are the reason you all were summoned here.
Oh,
I look over to Uvarheim and I say, "Yeah, naturally. You should listen to him. He's so smart, aren't you? What was your name?"
Oh, I'm Jasper, and you can see with that, he's just like stretching. He's just in this moment. He's so enjoying all of the attention he's getting.
I have him on his back in one hand, and I use my other one to rub on his belly as he's stretching out. And then he does that thing where he like falls like a waterfall backwards and lands on his feet as I set him down. I say, thank you, Jasper. It's so nice to have a sweet little kitty cat to tell us what's going on. He's got to go meet the king.
He has to come meet the king. And you can see this cat, Jasper, I guess I can call him now, moves farther into the hallway, which you guys can see is also filled with this sort of, like I said, very familiar, wispy, almost incense-like smoke. There's so much of it, in fact, that it seems to waft almost all the way up to like waist level. So despite how heavy this smoke is and how scented this smoke is, it seems to have really built up in this cabin area. And he motions off to the side for you guys to please exit.
Uvarheim looks at the Birdman. Are you coming too?
Well, absolutely. I'm here to be an advisor.
I grab Uvarheim by the wrist and I look over to Zastra and I throw a big hoofy hand and say, "Come on, let's go, let's meet the king!" And I run out like a little girl.
Yeah, and Uvarheim, as you're being drug out of the cabin by this Minotaur, you see the I'm going to call him like a corvid. You see him sort of put his gloved hand across his midsection and just take a bow, like giving you a sign of respect as you pass. And as you do, you also see around his neck a little dangling amulet falls from where it had previously been resting, and you're able to make out. Well, actually, give me just like a quick. What's your passive perception?
Not good.
16.
11.
11. I mean, that's good enough. That's like better than average in any case. So, you're able to tell this is what looks like shiny. You're not able to make out what material this is as you're being pulled through the door, but it's small, it's shiny, it's black. It seems to have the silhouette of similar to this individual. It seems to have like a raven silhouette. and set in the center where the eye socket would be, you can see like an amethyst. And as he bows, the necklace dangles a little bit, catches the light just right. You can see that this amethyst goes clear through the amulet to the point where when light passes through it, it looks like the eye of this raven visage glows for a second.
Oh, can I get one of those?
And he just doesn't respond as you are yanked
Oh,
into
yeah.
the hallway.
Oh, yeah.
And
Oh my God, can I get one of those?
yeah, and you guys kind of walk down this path. I assume nobody wants to, like, I don't know, look at whatever, but you pass through the hallway and pass various other cabin rooms. You see all the doors are open. So, even if you just did a quick look as you're running by, you'd see that these are all almost exactly the same room that you guys had already been in. Nobody seems to be present, but you reach the end of the hallway, and there's a slight turn to where a door where you might be able to disembark.
Yeah, I like a kid who's feels like they're in a fairy tale, seeing a floating fairy and talking cats and saying you're gonna go meet the king. I'm just whatever seems right. I just go through it and encouraging the other. Come on, let's go. We're gonna meet the king. This is exciting. A king cat. Can you believe? He has a little tiny king crown on his head.
Through all of the doors. What if there's big scary things on the other side?
Are you kidding
And
me?
we'll
Look
kill
at this.
them.
Look at this place.
Oh,
There's
man.
Let's
purple
go.
everywhere. There's talking cats. There's nothing bad here.
Doesn't mean things won't kill you, child.
I would like to run a game one day with like an endless train. That'd be cool.
Dude.
That would be so fun. Oh my
I'll
God.
protect you. I'm really strong. And I turn to Uvarheim and I just, under your armpits, I just lift you up with my 20 strength. And then
Wow.
come
Damn.
on, we'll be fine. I'll protect you. I'll go first. Let's go. And I take off.
This is a bad idea.
Yeah,
This
you
is
are
fun.
able to you kind of slide the door out of the way, and as you jump out of this train car, yeah, you arrive, and this landscape that you've arrived in is very similar to the one that you saw passing by as you were traveling. You see, like this background behind me, you see trees, kind of barren winter, purple clouds, all of that same thing. But what you do see, in addition to that, is a road that seems to stretch out into the distance. Now, earlier I described the fog as being pretty heavy. It's so thick as you step out of this train car, you can hardly see maybe 30 feet in front of you. So it is rolled in and it is pea soup. It is thick fog. But interestingly, as you step off the car, this corvid gentleman that you guys all left behind seems to be waiting for you when you arrive. And in fact, motions, and just kind of like if this person were a butler, guiding you to the bathroom or something, he just motions towards the path that you guys can all see.
Oh, did you misty step here?
I don't need to misty step here.
Do you
Oh.
fly?
I don't have wings.
How did you get here so fast?
Quit pestering him. Come on, let's go.
No, we have questions, young lady.
Nah.
Yeah, who's
Okay.
going and who's interrogating?
I went. I'm gone.
I'm sorry. I just follow after. Also, I'm probably being
Get
dragged.
herself killed. And I fly after.
Yeah, you got to keep this little 6-year-old girl safe. Come on.
I don't know about this.
Protect me.
Turn later.
That's right. So yeah, I'll just say, you guys. Yeah, go ahead.
Bird, little bird lady. Not bird. What's your name? Not bird. Who are you?
Not bird.
Not bird?
Who are
Fairy?
you asking?
This is Zastra.
Yes, the little
she
fairy.
said her name.
I'm-
Were you not paying
My
attention?
name is Zistara.
Zastara. That's what I said.
Okay, that's all I was wondering.
Yeah,
My mammals always exchange names.
my
They're good
mammals.
mammals.
I like that. Yeah, but I'll say for sake of brevity, you guys travel down this road for maybe like 20 or 30 minutes. And as
God.
yeah, I mean, it's quite a ways. We'll just say you guys are going at like a normal pace, right? You're just like walking. You're going your regular walking speed, right?
Yeah, once you realize that it's not like right ahead, you start walking normally.
Exactly.
Yeah, you sprint out of the
But
train, you get down the path, and you're like,
You're
oh,
like,
hey, it's
oh,
still just
okay.
more forest and more road. Yeah.
After about maybe a minute, then I'm like, oh.
Yeah, well, yeah, you guys travel down this road for maybe like 20 or 30 minutes, as I said. And as you do, you watch the sky kind of go. Yeah, go ahead.
After we stop running, I realize that there's nothing there. About 20 seconds pass, and then I start doing the thing a child does. Can you make me fly? Can I ride on top of you? What kind of stuff do you do? What kind of magic do you do? They called you a sorcerer. What kind of magic? Or can you show me anything cool? This is what I could do in just 20 minutes of that, guys.
Look what I can do.
I touch the top of Zabet's head, and I go, and telepathically, I say, let's play the quiet game. I'll get you a lollipop. Can you win? Without speaking.
Since I didn't hear this, I'll look at her and touch my eyeballs, and they'll both start glowing.
That's cool. Where's the
You
lollipop?
lost. You want to try it again?
Where's the lollipop?
What? Lollipop?
She said she'll give me a lollipop if I stop talking.
What's a lollipop?
I don't know. Yes, I do. I'm a child.
Why are you
The
giving
little sugary
children
snacks.
lollipops?
I wanted to play a game
What kind
of
of
who could be quiet the longest.
lollipop
That
is
sounds
it?
boring.
It's your favorite kind.
Can I do an
I'm
insight
magical.
check?
I know these
How do you
things.
make
Yeah,
but you
go ahead
ask
and
about
roll
so many questions.
against
Quiet all the
Zistara's deception.
I'm sorry, what?
I'm
You
insight
can roll
checking
insight
if
against
you
your
actu-
deception.
if you actually have a lollipop. Ooh, buddy.
Now, I did say that I was going to get you a lollipop. Not necessarily that I had a lollipop.
Are you
What would I
going to
roll-
get me a lollipop?
What would I roll?
Deception.
Well,
Are-
what if I was...
Are you actually going to get me a lollipop for not talking?
What would I roll if I'm deceiving you? I get that. But if I
Roll-
do plan on getting you...
You are deceiving
Persuasion.
in the way that a parent would do to their child.
It would
So
be
go ahead and roll
persuasion.
deception.
Persuasion?
If you actually intend to do so.
They're both +2, so actually it would have been a
Why
12.
is this an argument?
I don't know.
So 12 versus what was your insight?
You got 12? I got a 16 minus 2, a 14.
Oh.
Damn. Yeah, so you can tell this fairy is maybe doesn't have a lollipop.
You know,
Well, how would
the
you
last
fit a
magic
lollipop
person,
anywhere? You're like really small.
the last magic person that
Right.
lied to me was the witch that turned me into this. And then I just turn away and keep walking quietly.
I don't like people who lie either.
And Zistara,
I-
you would recognize that as a fey creature that, yeah, this person likely had some sort of exchange with a more powerful fey creature. Not very many entities in the world can change somebody's appearance, especially that drastically.
I wasn't trying to be mean. I was just trying to
Just a
encourage
6-year-old
you.
girl.
I understand that you're a 6-year-old
You're
girl.
a monster.
I've played with a lot of children that like this game.
And we'll say that you guys kind of have this banter, this back and
Sure,
forth
yeah.
exchange as you're walking. Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys have made your journey, although there's been a bit of conflict and discovery that fey creatures may not, in fact, tell the truth all the time. That you guys kind of crest this hill that you guys had been traveling towards and now over. And as you do, you reach the top of the hill. And, well, as I said, too, as you guys were traveling... sorry to kind of be a little all over the place, but as you guys were traveling, you also noticed that the sky goes from that kind of deep purplish hue to a more natural, like vibrant blue. And in fact, the sunlight goes from that kind of dreary magenta to what you would expect, the typical like bright white sunlight. And what you guys can see now that the fog is cleared and you've returned to relatively normal weather conditions, you can see all the way into the valley ahead of you a small town, kind of situated up against the foothills of a larger hill, almost a mountain, and on the banks of this kind of glittering blue river that snakes its way across the land towards you guys. You guys can see a couple of paths and bridges that go across the river and things, but you can tell this village is probably like maybe another 20 minutes or so, maybe 15 minutes more walking. But you're struck by the kind of serene, idyllic beauty of this. It almost looks like a painting, how sometimes you can see a scenery and your brain does that thing where you're like, am I looking at something that's real? Like, this looks too perfect. And you guys, you see
so weird.
see the shadow of white puffy clouds casting dark areas across the landscape. Yeah, you guys are in springtime in the countryside.
I start skipping and occasionally doing cartwheels.
That's sick.
That's all.
Yeah, give me
Sing a
like
giant guitar.
Athletics?
yeah, I wanna
Probably
acrobatics.
Okay. That's a natural 20 plus 1.
Oh yeah, you've never seen a minotaur be this agile before. He or she puts her arms straight out and just like without. It doesn't even look like they push off or anything. They just like go straight into a cartwheel, like rolling down the hill a little bit. Even it's really well done.
I don't have 2 things of metal. Oh.
Clank, 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 clank.
Uvarheim, I think that you should do that.
Okay.
Come on, Uvarheim. I'll teach you. I want to try and teach how to do a cartwheel.
Okay. I'm gonna roll with disadvantage.
Sure.
7.
Yeah, Uverheim, you try to stick out your arms and mimic what Zabet just did, and you're convinced that you're gonna be able to do it just as easily as they did. They made it look easy, so it must be easy. And as soon as you go to turn, your like knee buckles in a weird way, and you kind of twist your ankle, and you don't like fall hard enough to get damaged or anything like that. But oof, you hit with a bit of a thud as you have to abort your cartwheel almost halfway through. Yeah, you are dusty, dirty after that attempt.
Oh well.
The star, are you to sort of like waiting at the top of the hill as they both try to kind of cartwheel their way? You would notice that, this Corvid fellow has just like apparated next to you again. And
So you can like teleport?
yeah. Cool. Again, he says, I don't have to teleport, but I wanted to let you know that this is your destination. And he kind of motions with an open palm towards the hand, towards the town, and says, this is the town of Ulthar.
Town of what? I'm sorry?
Ulthar.
Ulthar.
Which Jasper had said earlier too. Our king of cats awaits at Ulthar.
Is the cat black and white?
The cat is not currently with you. The cat you met, though, was just
white.
like straight slate gray.
You
the
said
cat you
that.
guys saw in your vision was a pure white, just completely, like from head to toe to tail, completely white. But this cat that you guys met in the train
Jasper.
was almost as uniformly gray. Yeah, his name was Jasper. But you kind of look at him thinking like, what the fuck is this guy about? And you look back at the town, and then when you go back to look at him again, he's just not there.
He said that we were at our destination, for whatever that means.
Oh, we're not going to that town. We're supposed to like wait here.
He didn't say wait here. He just said we have arrived.
Maybe he's
motioned to the
referring
town
to
and
the
said, "This is
town.
your
We
destination."
just saw it.
That's what the cat was saying.
Come on, let's go.
Okay.
I pick up Uverheim by like, the belts because he fell. Just pick him up.
Like a suitcase, yeah, you do. And you guys all kind of journey, like I said, for another 15 or so minutes. And you arrive at what looks like a fairly quaint town, you know. Most of the structures here are made out of just rough stone. There are fences lining either side of this main road you guys arrive on. And again, not even any masonry to speak of in these walls. It's mostly like stacked stones, capped with all stones kind of laid on top of each other at an angle. This is very, while effective, pretty primitive stonework. And in fact, as you look around, you see most of these buildings are intact. Like all of these houses seem to have nicely tiled roofs. They have glass in the windows. But then there are a few others that seem to be mostly overgrown with vines, and these overgrown buildings are almost completely ruined. None of them have roofs, none of them even have all four of their walls, and some of these are even like towers that seem to have collapsed inward on themselves. This is like a town with a lot of age.
Where is everyone? I don't see anyone. Do you?
Yeah, and as you're looking around, since you made that comment, give me a perception check.
Can I also?
Yeah,
Since they made that comment?
Everybody?
sure.
Well, that
Everybody
was
give
bad.
me a perception check.
13?
9 again.
9 again.
My intention was to get people to look around because I'm not good at it.
20.
Yay, dirty
20. Bow, 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 bow.
20.
You guys see, yeah, I mean, Uvarheim, you just kind of like looking at your feet. And as you do, you actually see Jasper approach from off the side of the path and kind of rejoin you all at your feet. Zabet, you look around and you see that there are like, there are little groups of cats around. Now, as you guys have arrived in the town, a few have like jumped up onto the fences. There's like maybe 4 now that are like all just sat along the top of these fences and looking at you. What's going on?
Did I
Ethan's
miss
cat.
something? What did Ethan's cat do?
You'll have to look back at the video.
I'm gonna have to watch that one back.
It's so ridiculous.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to watch that one back.
Oh, I did
She's just
see
like
that.
beating him up. He just
Hey,
looked
what
down
are
like,
you
what the
doing?
hell?
Sorry,
Oh,
sorry.
so funny.
No worries, no worries. But yeah, you guys see, Zabet, you see, like I said, little groups of cats now popping up onto the fence and looking at you guys with curiosity.
I go crazy and try to pet each of them.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
Not
absolutely.
every
It would
cat
take
may
some.
want your
I'm
attention.
scooping them up and like putting them in my arm, so I have like 5 cats and like petting them with my hand and my forearm to pet multiple cats at once. And then once I get too many, I lay on the ground and try and put them on my belly as I pet them and love on them and squish them and love them and squeeze them.
And it's actually not that hard to get that many cats. There's like a little patch of flowers that seems to have like 4 or 5 cats all sunbathing, and you just scoop all of them up in these big minotaur arms.
Too much that they're gonna die.
No, why would you say that?
There's a number of times.
And Nina as time goes on.
There's a number of times that you can touch a cat before it dies and you lose another one of its lives.
I stand up and I look at all these cats sitting down and say, "Is this true?"
Wait, so you can make them learn to talk if you pet them?
Zabet, as you're kind of addressing these cats from the fence, this white cat with brown tipped ears, brown legs, and like a brown, almost like mask-like face pattern, brown tail, jumps up onto your shoulder and says, sorry, what was the question? I was so into describing that I forgot what you said.
I ask, is this true whenever she says if you pet a cat too much, it will die?
And he'll jump onto your shoulder and say, like, we haven't had to deal with anything like that in generations.
I love that answer. I just look at her and go, see? And I keep petting.
Yeah, it doesn't mean that it doesn't happen.
Star, do you not like them because, like, I know cats, like, eat birds, and you're a not bird, but maybe they, like, still try to eat you?
Yeah,
I
Zistara,
haven't.
as he says that, you like look nervously towards some of the cats, and they don't look like they're being like overtly aggressive towards you, but as this kind of like floating, flitting, flying creature, you can see a couple of them like as they're looking at you, their pupils widen for a second, and then before they go back closed, and one of them kind of
I
like
fly just a little
lazily
bit
licks
higher.
his chops.
I fly just a little bit higher. I'm like, you never know. They like to swat at things.
I am
At
noticing
this
a
point,
theme on Amanda's characters.
yeah,
Jeez.
yep, she does have a theme. But yeah, at this point, the gray cat kind of takes note of this cat now that has joined you. So Jasper notices this cat, and he calls out to him. He's like, "Barney, where the heck have you been?"
I just, Barney, where have you been? And I hold my
And-
big old hands out for like scritches, like, come here.
Oh, he's jumped. He's like on your shoulder. He's like stretched out across your chest and like leaned over your shoulder,
Oh, yeah.
having a conversation with Jasper, who's
Perfect.
now behind you. But yeah, he just says the king wanted me to take a look, so I was on patrol. Let's see. Actually,
Bonnie, what is the king's name? How do we address the king? I don't want to go in there and be rude.
oh well, you'll know them when you see them. But Barney seems, even though he responds to you, Barney's like not really looking at you. You can see Barney has locked eyes with Uvarheim. And he says, "Now that's a scent that takes me back. You smell kind of like the wizards we used to see around here."
Well, I know magic. Maybe like, does magic have a smell?
He jumps down from Zabet and kind of like does that circle around your ankles for a second. He says, "Are you here to do work for the Queen of Memories?"
I like memories. Whose memories?
And he just kind of looks at you for a second and like paws your jacket for a second and like sniffs the air for a second and then just yawns and wanders off.
I'm petting other cats already.
Yeah, then there are plenty around to pet. You look around and you see probably like 15 cats now have all
Oh my god.
come onto the fences and in these meadows to kind of see what's going on.
Multitasking. Petting all the cats.
Can't
I
wait
go into
until
a
the
rage.
campaign turns into we have to kill all of the cats.
No.
Yeah, you guys. God damn it, Amanda, you are too cracked up about this. But yeah, you guys take a look around, and Jasper says, "Come this way," and
Follow.
like doesn't really like motion to you with a hand, but like with his shoulder starts walking down this main thoroughfare.
I get up and follow, petting cats as I'm walking by them.
Yeah, do you just
Nice to
arrive?
meet
You're like
you,
walking
Mittens.
down the street
It's
with
nice
like
to meet
half
you,
a dozen
Buttons. See you
cats
later,
all hung
Jelly.
across your arms.
Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah, that looks great. You are in cat heaven. But you guys walk down a little bit, and you arrive under the shade of what seems like a really large oak tree, and sort of perched on the fence underneath this oak tree, you see this really, like, the only way to describe it is this really gorgeous orange cat. Like, this cat has long, like, straight fur. Like, it almost looks like the hair of a young woman, where it's silky and it's brushed out and it's fine. But looking at it, you guys make eye contact. It looks to you as you approach, and you can see that this cat has like one yellow eye and one blue eye. And as you arrive, you also notice that this corvid fellow is waiting beneath the tree as well.
I ignore this magically transporting bird and I go to the cat and say, "Permission to give you lovin'?"
And she just looks at you and says, "Granted."
and I go crazy.
Yeah, you pick up this cat, and like I said, it feels almost exactly like somebody's like well-conditioned, brushed out, smooth hair. This cat is just lovely to pet. But she kind of just purrs for a second, and like nuzzles up into your chest a little bit, getting comfortable in this new position of comfort. And says in a pretty soft, like matronly voice, she says, "Hello, sorcerer and friends. I'm the king of cats. My name is Molly."
It's the king! Oh! I walk over with the king in my arms, and I walk towards Uvarheim because he seems to be getting a lot of the, oh, it's you type thing. He's kind of the center. And I'm like, it's the king! Uvarheim, look, it's the king! Look at this hair!
Cool.
Yeah, and as you walk over to Uvarheim and the sun sort of catches this cat's fur, it does. It like glistens almost like gold in the sun.
Why is everyone saying hi to me and saying I smell like familiar?
Well, you're expected. You're here to do work for the Queen of Memories, is that right?
Uh,
I lean over
Sure.
before you answer, say, yeah, I think you are. I think that's it. And I look
Okay.
down to the cat. Yeah, he's here for the queen of memories.
Sure. That feels right. Sure. Yeah, I'll do that.
You all strike me as odd, choosing to travel with this dark one. And she sort of like motions towards the corvid that you guys had left at the train. But if you're here by her will, then I'll allow it.
What's wrong with, Blinky Birdman?
Blinky Birdman. She just looks at you for a minute, and like seems to be appraising you almost as you ask this question. And she answers just very simply, as if you should know this already. Like, well, his essence is of shadow. It's not typical to see one like him traveling with the mortals like yourself.
He is dark. That's true.
That's why he doesn't
Like
have
shadows.
to fly or teleport or misty step or any of the other questions of transportation that we've asked.
Well, since you're here by her will, as I said, allow me to show you around. And she kind of jumps back out of your arms, Zabet, and onto the fence, and just kind of like, how cats saunter, where they are totally in control of their space and they are king of the country. If that could be used to describe a cat, this cat has that attitude in spades. It is not difficult at all to know, just looking, that this cat is the head honcho. But as you walk, you guys are kind of walking towards the southern edge of town now, away from where you arrived, and you can see, yeah, she's just kind of bounding between fence poles and across stones. And she addresses you again, Uvarheim, and she says, "Well, I wish I could tell you there's nothing wrong with our land. However, we're in a bit of trouble. You'll help us, right, sorcerer?"
Okay. Like, what do you need help with?
Before she gets a chance to answer, you guys are kind of like, as I said, walking down the street, and you get close to this house. It's a really nice looking house. As I said, several of these are tiled, and this one looks immaculate. Like the masonry of the walls is all very well kept. The roof is clean. The windows, glass are all clean and sparkling in the sunlight. And from the open door, you see a little girl run out. Before she's totally in sight of your guys' situation, the cats all seem to, like, take a position. They don't really talk anymore. And in fact, as you look, the corvid gentleman isn't here anymore. But as she rounds the corner of her fence, she sees all three of you, and she seems delighted. She looks to you, especially Zabet, and she says, "Who were you all talking to outside of my house?"
Molly, the king of the cats.
Molly?
Yes.
Well, that's my cat.
Well, she is quite... Do you condition her hair, or does she just do that herself?
I brush her out every night.
Oh, my goodness. How old is this girl?
This girl's probably about the same age as
Oh,
you would
man.
be if you were in your little girl ball. This girl is like, she's got like dark brown, almost auburn hair, and it's all done up in like a ponytail, like a braided ponytail behind her. But yeah, she's like 6, maybe 7.
My name's Elizabeth. I'm actually a girl about your age too, but you know, magic, I guess. What are we doing here? Are you the Queen of Memories? Uvarheim, is this her?
I don't know. I'm just kind of like going along with whatever feels right, you know. Little girl, do you control memories?
I don't know what you're talking about, but
What's your name?
well, I'm not sure I should be speaking to you after all.
Okay, goodbye.
And she just like looks at Molly for a second and she's like, it'll be time to eat soon. Come inside, okay? And then she runs back into her house.
Does Molly follow?
That's the second little girl that just ran as soon as she sees me. This is weird.
You have a way with little girls, and it's to make them run away.
Yeah, follow that up real quick. Does Molly run in after as well?
No, Molly just sort of seems to stay on her perch where she was, not reacting. You know, kids don't tell cats what to do, and especially not the king of cats. But yeah, she looks at you all and she says, "That's my owner."
What's her
She's
name?
just kind of like, well, I shouldn't speak of her name, but I should say I've looked after her since she was born. She's like my child. I'm proud of her like she was my own daughter.
And whenever she said, "Come on in, it's time to eat," was she speaking to Molly, or was she speaking to us?
She was looking at Molly
Oh, okay.
to say like, "Hey, dinner's ready."
Okay.
But Molly, and you would notice this, it would have strucken you all as odd that when she like talked to Molly and was addressing even the cats directly, like nobody responded. Nobody like said anything out loud.
Right.
And as I said, this corvid gentleman is really nowhere to be seen.
So why are you speaking to us but not to your daughter?
Well, there are certain things I would rather leave her out of, and this is one of them.
Does she not know that you can speak?
She doesn't.
Oh.
Oh, that's why they don't
I'm
talk.
sorry. I shouldn't have said anything.
Quite all right. As I said, I've been with her since birth.
Well, you said you were going to take us to the Queen of Memories. Where is that? Is that where we're going next?
So as you're questioning Molly here, one thing you do notice is out of, let me see. Let me find out what out of.
Your butt.
A bucket.
Nice.
Out of
tree.
Uvarheim's shadow, a like black oily substance starts to spill out and kind of roll across the ground. And in fact, you can see.
Oh, it cut you off.
Nah.
Yeah, you got noise gated. But yeah, you see this kind of oily black substance roll out of Uvarheim's shadow. And it takes vaguely the shape of the corvid gentleman that you guys had all seen just a minute before. And
Okay.
in this oily, you do what?
I poke it.
You poke it? Yeah. What are you attempting to do as you poke it?
Just poke it, see what it feels like.
With your finger, with your foot?
Yeah, with my finger.
Yeah, you reach down and you poke it in your finger. You would expect it to like have some sort of texture or to be met with some kind of sensation, but your finger reaches dirt and you're not able to perceive the substance of this creature. But what you do see as you get down close to it is what seems like almost little points of red light that seem to represent like what this visage's face would be. As it apparates across the ground here, it even makes a comment, and it says, "I dislike children. They don't even have magic, but they have a strong ability to perceive the essence of a being."
Oh, okay. That's strange.
I start crying.
The big guy, the big one is a
I
child.
start crying. I walk away
you
like
know?
5-10 feet, and I'm crying. I pick up Molly and I walk away and I cry.
Yeah, you pick up Molly and you go and you cry, and you can see the
Something
little
said he was
red points
talking
of
about
light sort of
you.
follow Zabet as they walk away, and then look back up to you, Uvarheim, and he says, "Well, with that, I may as well go investigate." And without like another word or motion, this sort of substance that what makes up this corvid gentleman you guys were talking to before just slithers farther across the ground, up the side of one of these stone walls, and then up and over. And as it does, you can see like just a small like black wisp of what looks like thick smoke come off of it as it crests this fence and goes down the other side.
I am so on the edge of wanting to throw a hand axe at that. Just because I'm a barbarian and I'm upset and I'm a kid and I'm crying.
Yeah.
I'm going to do a wisdom save. If it's less than 10, I'm throwing an axe. It's 15. I hug the cat.
Okay, you hug the cat. And
I like
Molly
this one.
really does. Yeah, in the exact same way. She kind of like licks the corner of your arm and like just, if a little tear comes down the side of your snoot, then she like wipes it up with just her shoulder or something like that. And after a moment, she says, "Why don't we go for a walk?"
Okay.
Everybody else follows, I assume?
Yep.
I will
Cool.
follow.
Yeah, she kind of motions, with her snout towards the rest of the street as you guys had been walking. And what you guys can see ahead of you now is a pretty thick forest. Like there's the canopy doesn't like completely block out the sun, but it's enough for it to provide pretty consistent shade. And as you enter this forested area, you guys can all feel like the moisture and the cool temperature kind of wash over your bodies. It feels really refreshing, actually, to kind of be in this calm, damp space. And as you guys are walking, she just kind of like leads you through little, winding paths through the forest. You guys pass by a few like little glades or some areas where the tree trunk is so overgrown that it's created, those little hollowed out, knotted areas in the forest floor. But as you guys are walking, she says, "Allow me to tell you all a story. Long ago, so long that even we, with our 9 lives, don't have many stories to tell of it, there was a man who enjoyed killing us. Run as we may, hide as we may, we were captured and our lives were snuffed out." As she's like telling you this story, you guys can all feel like you can still see through your own eyes, but somehow this imagery penetrates your thoughts. Like, I know, Amanda, you don't actually see images in your head, but pretend that you do.
But your character can.
Yeah.
So roleplay it.
Sure does.
These images of like a dark cellar, seemingly very low, dim light, lit only by a single oil lamp sitting on the far table. You guys see the images of like, well, really it's just shadows on the wall. You guys see the shadows of multiple cats hung on like meat hooks and chains, dangling lifeless from whatever these chains are attached to. And And as you kind of, think to yourself and focus, like, what is this about? Why am I seeing these things? You also see the shadow of a man. And he seems to be raising, like in this shadow that you see him raising what looks like a cleaver and bringing it down. You guys can hear then the squelch of like blood. And like I said, you guys can still all see out of your own eyes. You're walking through the forest and this feels cool and calming, but these images are intrusive. You're not able to not think about this. After a brief moment, you guys also see the visage of the bedroom you guys first saw in your original vision. You see this same white cat now at the window, peering out the window, just kind of calmly and collected, staring at the countryside outside of this bedroom. And as she continues her story, she says, "It was the first king of cats who ended that. The first king gathered the remaining cats, and together they attacked." And when she says together they attacked, in your mind you guys see like just a string of dozens and dozens of cats running beneath this windowsill where this white cat is perched. You guys would gather pretty easily, like this is a story almost being projected directly into your minds. So you would gather based on what she's said and what she's shown you that this white cat is supposed to represent the first king of cats. As she finishes that part of the story, the scene in your mind changes once again, and you guys actually see again the interior of this dark cellar. Yeah, but what you see is a scene where the power is sort of shifted. Before, if you saw the cats hanging on meat hooks and chains, this one is of the cats jumping all over this man, like on his shoulders, on his arms, up his legs, across his chest. And they're all like clawing and biting. You guys see this man is wearing like pretty plain clothes. He has short brown hair, and they're like absolutely tearing this guy to shreds. And she concludes her story by saying, "They clawed him apart, chewed him to bits, drank his blood, and left not even a trace of him."
Very vicious.
Sounds like he deserved it. Is he back? Like what? Is that happening again?
As you ask that question,
cool story, bro. What's up?
Yeah, your vision changes one more time. Sorry, I was reading up. I wrote this earlier this afternoon, but we're like not even halfway through this
10 out
yet.
of 10, by the way.
No, it's great. This is
good.
awesome. I can see
Doing
it in
pretty
my
good art.
mind.
Yeah.
Like it's very well like produced. Or like
you wrote
directed,
this whole thing?
Directed.
I wrote this. I wrote 4 of these pages last night, and I wrote the remaining 12 this afternoon.
Damn,
God,
dude.
This is insane. This
really
is
good.
far better. This is wow. Yeah,
It's
good
that-
stuff.
Can't wait
Anyway.
to kill the cat.
Yeah. So if you said we're not halfway, then we probably will finish this Friday.
Keep
Then,
going.
right?
Yeah, we'll probably need to wrap it up a different night.
Oh, I see now.
Yeah.
I thought you went through your story. I'm like, oh yeah, that's fine. I don't care. I
mean,
wanna
we're
hear more
going-
story.
We're going pretty quick, but yeah, it's been an hour already, and we're not quite there yet. So,
No worries.
where am I? I lost my place all of a sudden.
The cats were jumping on the guy, and they ripped
Yeah,
him and
they were.
drank his blood. And by the way, Zabet is very quiet because the cats getting
sad.
killed was terrifying and sad. But then a man being ripped apart by cats is equally terrifying and sad and scary.
Right. As you have one in your hands and you're a big burly guy.
I'm
Oops.
not worried about it. It's just scary.
Yeah.
It's scary. I'm not afraid. Just like people kill people. I'm not afraid of people because of that, but just seeing that image projected in my mind, I am very scared.
So the final thing you guys see as this story concludes now is you see this sort of inky black mass. Like, it's not similar in the sense like to what the Corvid gentleman kind of deapparated into, but this almost looks like roiling black viscous oil, and it seems to be like sinking in large clumps through the water. And as you see this final image, your vision sort of clears up and you return to yourself. You no longer have these images being projected into your minds. But you hear Molly continue. She says, each generation of kings pays for the reverence we receive by sacrificing several of our lives in order to hold this corruption at bay. And you can tell she's like referring to this image that you've just seen in your head. Like, for better or for worse, she understands that you guys have all been able to see the imagery of the story that she's been telling you.
Can I ask a question? You keep saying Molly and you keep saying she, but then it's the king of the cats?
Yep.
So the king is the woman?
Yeah. You got a problem with that?
No, it's just weird. Why is she not a
It's
queen?
2021. Can't the female
I
be
understand
a
it's
king of cats?
2021, but there's still...
Jesus.
All right. I just
Put
thought
her on
maybe I was
blast!
In
missing
many
it.
other cultures, king doesn't automatically mean male.
I was just feeling like I was missing
Tweet Amanda
something.
at Amanda is Pippi on Twitter.
Yeah, that's right.
Not a real
Cancel
thing.
Pippi.
Everybody,
Hashtag
please
cancel Pippi.
cancel Pippi.
Cancel
Don't
her.
cancel Pippi.
Cancel Pippi.
It was a legitimate
You're right.
question.
Just cancel Amanda.
I wasn't trying to question the pronouns. I was just trying to understand.
Yes, to clarify,
Continue.
this is a female cat. She's been speaking to you in a matronly voice. She is the king of cats.
Okay.
But yeah, you guys, as I said, your vision kind of returns to yourself. You no longer see these images projected into your head, but what you do see now is that you guys are all standing. She's led you through the forest, and you're all standing on the bank of a small lake. And situated in the center of this lake, you guys can see even a smaller island. It seems like, it's maybe like less than 100 feet across. It's pretty small island, and you can see too that on this island there, are a few shrubs, a few stones, one particularly large tree growing out of it. And as you guys arrive on the bank of this lake, you feel, let's see, because you've been enjoying it so much, and I rolled your number. Zabet, you feel another cat presence jump up onto your shoulder and is kind of like perched. You know how cats do, where they're sitting on their haunches, but they're still holding themselves up with their front legs. And this, you can tell, is the same white cat with brown features. This is Barney that you guys had met before.
I immediately am scritching without even seeing Barney directly, but I immediately begin patting.
Well, and out of your periphery, as you kind of make note of him and go to scritch, you can see he's staring straight ahead and seemingly right at this island. And he whispers to you, he says, "Look really carefully. I'm sure you can see it." And I would like Zabet, please make a perception check.
Oh, just a bit. Okay.
Just a straight roll. That's a 7. What is it,
7.
Barney? I don't see.
It's water.
So what you see is you look at this island and you kind of note that the shadow of this tree kind of casts its way across the length of this island. But what you see in the shadow of the tree, it seems to like be moving just a little bit. There seems to be some motion and what looks like little wisps of smoke.
Is that Pat?
Who are you asking?
I'm asking Barney.
Oh, okay. Molly actually hears you asking Barney, since she's hanging out in your arms, and she says, "That's filth. That's the corrupt state of souls that were never cleansed. The corruption I've been trying to contain. It's been trying to escape in recent days."
Is
How
it,
do,
And so
how do
you
you
have to
lives?
sacrifice cats' lives?
I have to sacrifice my lives. It seeks to
Oh.
maniacally and indiscriminately take the lives of
I'm-
both cat and people,
I'm setting
and
down
as
Molly.
king, I cannot allow that.
Wait, you have to sacrifice your own life?
Take Barney
Yes.
off my shoulder.
How many
I
more do you have? Like
mustn't
2?
allow it to emerge.
I pull out a
How many
javelin.
lives do you... What life number are you on?
I throw a javelin.
You throw a javelin? Where's your javelin going?
I'm trying to hit that inky black. You said it was about 100 feet away?
The island itself is about 100 feet across, but the
Oh.
island is situated at the center of this relatively small lake. So it's probably like 300 yards away.
Oh, so never mind.
Like 3 football fields. Probably won't be able to make it from the shore of the lake.
I look over, or sorry, Amanda, you were asking a question. Go ahead.
So what life number are you on right now, King of Cats?
And as you look at her in the face, kind of asking this very brash question, you see that her, both of her eyes, both yellow and blue, kind of sparkle for just a moment. And if you could see a cat smile, this cat smiles at you. But she responds telling you, well, I'm on my 9th life.
Oh.
We have to go. We will fight it. We'll fight it. Molly, we'll fight it.
Wait.
How do we
I
get
would
over
hope so.
there?
What did you say about sacrificing humans or cats?
No. She said that she has to sacrifice one of their lives to keep it at bay. But we can
I
fight
have
it. We
had to
can destroy
sacrifice
it.
all of my lives to contain it. Otherwise, it would kill both cats and people.
Oh.
Can we sacrifice like 8 really bad humans to it instead?
I'm looking for a boat.
I've killed like a bunch of them. I probably, like, not all the corpses may be... Oh, no, they probably rotted. We can probably make more.
They probably rotted.
Well, good thing I'm not human.
So as you guys are having this conversation and you guys are kind of looking down the shoreline, looking for boats and things, I would like all 3 of you to please make strength saves.
Strength save. Hell
I'm real
yeah.
good at those.
Is it something
Oh,
that,
I am!
Is it something I'm able to see? Oh, never mind. That's Dex. Sorry, never mind. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
17.
25.
25. 5.
Wait,
Woof.
wait.
Nope. Nope.
So
Swap
what
yours.
was yours
Look,
again?
Cross
16?
them. Cross your
Wait,
hands.
really?
There
This
you go.
way?
Yep.
There you go, 16.
For
you
me,
got
that looks like 71.
That looks
17.
like
This
16.
is supposed to
17.
be a 7. It's really... There we go.
it. All right, 17, 5,
17.
25.
Yes.
I'm not very strong.
Yeah,
I'm a little fairy.
you guys all feel a coldness on each of your legs as watery tendrils reach out from the lake and grasp each of you. Zestara, you are literally just plucked from the air and dragged into the water.
Dope.
Uvarheim, you are able to
17.
resist for a moment. What do you do?
It's like grabbing for my leg?
It is. It's you currently have one watery tendril like wrapped around your ankle, and you guys can both see, the 2 of you who are still left on the shore, there are several more of these watery tentacles, and these aren't like tentacles. These are like tendrils, I guess I should say. These are translucent, seemingly made of water, but all now rushing from the surface of the lake out to grasp you. What do you do?
I start...
I didn't read my spell very well. Continue.
I start arcing a little bit of electricity and then shocking grasp the one that tried to reach out for me.
Okay. Give me, since you shocking grasped the one, give me a dexterity save.
Okay. I have... oh, it's not advantage, it's just 11. Blah, blah, blah.
11. Yeah, you do. You shocked this tendril that's wrapped its way around your leg, and it does. It like almost evaporates as the electricity arcs through it and heats it up, and it just flash evaporates. But as you turn to move or to prepare for battle, whatever it is you choose to do, you see another one not trying to grab you, but it just sweeps your legs.
Oh, shit. Do I fall?
You are prone. Zabet, what do you do? You
S-
have a tendril wrapped around your leg currently, and for you with a 25, it hardly even feels like it's pulling. Like you can tell that this tendril is gripping you and seems to be applying some force in the direction of the water, but you can hardly feel it.
how far away is Zathara from me?
Zastara would be probably about 20 feet out in the water now, and you can see that this tendril has her by the ankle. It is dragging her straight into the water.
I would like to run and jump as far as I can out into the water and try to like shoulder tackle the connection from the water to her. So the tether, I guess, that's between the water as it's animating out from the lake, that's pulling her down into it. I want to try and shoulder check that to break the connection.
Okay, so you're going to do like a running jump and then like an unarmed strike?
Sure.
Cool,
Actually,
okay.
I have Goring Rush. I can use my horns.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, do
technically.
that.
Okay, so I run, I use the dash action because I have to do that apparently, and I make an attack with my horns. It's a +7. Ooh, that's only a 10.
A 10? Well, a 10 does hit, so go ahead and roll damage.
Okay. I do 8 piercing damage. Yep.
Great. And then Zastara, go ahead and give me a dexterity saving throw.
It's actually bludgeoning, all that matters.
Bludgeoning, okay.
11.
11. So, first of all, Zabet, yeah, you just muster all your strength at once, and in a sprint, you jump from the edge of this lake, and, horns out front, you make direct contact with this tendril of water. And as you splash down into the water, you can see, it gets totally scattered. It becomes mist as your horns make impact. Unfortunately, what that causes is a wave of water to rush over top of Zastara. So we're going to come back to that in a second. Uvarheim, you are on the floor. You're on the ground. What's your next move?
Just have my movement to get up.
Okay.
And then, are there more tentacles coming, like tendrils around me, or?
Yeah. So as I described before, there are many tendrils of water now reaching out. It looks like maybe like 3 dozen or so in total, minus the couple that have already snatched you guys or been destroyed.
Do they seem to be coming from a central source, or is there anything like weird looking?
So they all seem to be protruding from different points on the surface of the water, but they are all focused directly on you guys. So before Zastara and Zabet were, Zastara flung into the water and Zabet Hulk charging into the water, these tendrils seem to all be focused on your guys' party.
Okay. And there's just a whole bunch of them?
There's a lot. What do you do?
Fireball.
Yeah, I don't have anything like that. I'll just chill touch.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead and roll an attack
I only have
roll.
single target abilities. Okay.
That would have been actually sick. I would have loved to have seen a
18.
fireball go off.
That would have been tight.
That
If
would
only
be
I was
awesome.
Tippy and I
18.
had my shield.
Have you used any of those spells off that shield yet, by the way?
I have not,
Nope.
because we haven't really
8 damage.
done anything.
8
I assume
damage,
that
yeah.
18 hit, yeah.
It's chill touch, right? So this is cold
Yeah.
damage. You see,
Yeah.
your ghostly hand kind of apparate and grasp around the circumference of one of these tendrils, and as it does, an ice block forms where this hand had grasped it, and the water ahead and behind of it just, falls back to the surface of the lake, seemingly deanimated. But you've destroyed one of the tentacles.
But there's still dozens, basically.
There's a lot left.
Okay. Is this for my turn? Is it someone else?
Yeah, what I mean, you've
Oh.
cast a spell. You're standing on the edge of the lake. What is there anything else you'd like to do?
And how far across was it again? 30?
It's probably about from here to the island.
Yeah.
It's probably about 600 feet
Oh,
in total.
shit. That's really
900 feet. Because I said 300 yards,
Yeah, you
right?
did,
So
yeah.
900 feet.
Oh, okay. Back up so that more won't grab me, and then we'll do this might be weird. No, because how would witch bolt work? Because it's only one target, but it's all one mass. I guess that wouldn't work. It would just as soon as something died, I guess it wouldn't.
Yeah, because
work. So
you
never-
chill touch the other one went away. They didn't all weaken.
Yeah,
One
yeah,
went
that's
away,
true.
so it's one target.
I'll just keep chill touching him at him, I guess.
Okay. Yeah, you do, and you just letting these spells fly. Zabet, you can hear now. Your head is completely submerged. You see a little fairy in the water next to you beginning to sink. You feel as though you're beginning to sink. What would you like to do?
I immediately put my hand underneath Zastara and raise her above the water, assuming that it's harder for her to fly in the water. I don't know. She has wings. I don't know if the wings make her fly or if she can just innately fly. But I just lift her above the water, and then I will start swimming to the top and trying to swim back to shore at the same time.
Okay. Yeah, as you kind of cup Zastara in your hand and you shove towards the surface of the water doesn't seem to break as you're pushing. Like you would expect it to just kind of flow around Zastara and fall away as you break the surface of the water, but like a solid inch of water seems to be rising with Zastara as you push. And in fact, as you use your strength, give me a strength check. You can use athletics if you like.
Cool. Plus 7. 16 plus 7 is 23?
23, yeah. So you are just like an Olympic swimmer. You know, you're kicking your legs, you are pushing, and again, it's like a dream. You know, those dreams where you're like trying to punch someone,
God, I hate
and it's just
those.
noodle arms. It's like, "Ugh." Even though you know you are giving it 100% of your strength, you aren't able to stay buoyant.
I will, after doing that very forceful, feeling very successful punch and still falling short, I will kind of see if I can make eye contact with Zastara and just like shrug, like, what do we do?
Can I try to chill touch the water above them that I saw was rising up and they weren't able to get through?
Yeah, you would see the little bubble of water kind of come above the surface in a very unnatural way. So, yeah, what would you like to do?
So crazy. So
Try
it
to attack
raises up
it.
where my fist is, and it goes above where the level is, but the water doesn't break. The water just goes up with it, shaped around my fist. Insane. How deep
Try
is
to-
this, by the way, where I'm at?
Where they were trying to punch it.
It's difficult to see the bottom. Like,
Okay,
you know, this is
fair
a relatively like small lake, but the floor of the lake seems shadowed in a way you're not able to see it.
And in theory, we're right next to shore because I was able to kind of dash and leap out.
Yeah, you weren't that
Okay.
far.
Not so. Go ahead, Ethan. Or wait, Zastara. Or whoever.
Yeah, were you going to do something? I was just saying that I was going to try to attack the water where you're trying to get out.
Just all right.
My question is this considered an open container?
What?
The
The world is an open container.
I'm just wondering if this is considered water in an open container because
No, this
What
is water
spell?
settled on the ground.
What spell
it's on the ground. It's not inside of the container of the lake.
What
It's in the
spell is
container of the
this?
planet. Yeah, what do you want?
What are you doing? What spell is this?
I was gonna try to destroy 10 gallons of water above my head.
Damn. Okay,
I mean, that's
that's legit. Go for it. Yeah, what are you trying to do?
Yeah.
So I can do that?
What spell are you using?
Create or destroy?
Just create or destroy water?
You destroy up to
Yeah, so
10
you're trying-
gallons of water in an open container within range. I would say yes.
So it just means I
Yeah.
see. So it just means you can't do it if it's like inside of something.
Like if it's a closed
Right.
bottle or something like that.
I could totally
Yeah.
see some like D&D player trying to physics lawyer that and be like, well, a human body is like 75% water, so I destroy the water in his body. Like, no,
Yeah.
come on. Come on.
I've actually
But I
heard
can
that
do
that's a
this?
thing people have done.
Yeah. This is exactly what it's for.
All right,
Yeah.
I cast that.
Okay, yeah, use whatever spell slot you need. What is that like a first level spell?
It's a first level spell, yes. And
Yeah, so
so it's 10 gallons of water, and I did it like right above my head.
okay, right above your head to the surface of the water. So that'd be way less than 10 gallons if you're just like making a cylinder. Are you going for like full effect here or just an emergency exit?
Kind of an emergency exit. Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm gonna try to get it and fly out.
So do you remove any of the water currently surrounding your body or just the water above your head?
I would try to do it
10
as
gallons. I mean, you would fit in like a gallon and a half. So, I mean,
Yeah.
just make a big old pocket.
okay,
This
yeah,
is like,
yeah.
This is
You're
like
right.
2 5-gallon buckets worth of cylinder space you could create here. So
I would do that for my whole body and escape, so I could try to dash out with my wings.
okay.
And any additional space I can create for
Zabet.
Zibet.
Yeah. Yeah. So your spell, you focus on it and it goes off. You feel the effect, and immediately you feel cool air on you as the water around you is eradicated. You see even all of the water that had surrounded up to Zabet's shoulder is now gone, and you have a clear cylinder to the surface.
I shoot
I
both
fly
my
up really high.
and I shoot both my hands right behind her and try and like I'm coming out of a manhole, slap my arms out on the sides and press myself up to come out, if possible.
Okay. And we'll come back to that in a second. Uvarheim, what are you up to?
Seeing them do that, I guess I'm just still attacking tentacles. Because
Okay.
I was going to do something to help save them, but they seem like they might be getting out.
Yeah, you saw a little water blister appear on the surface of the water for a second before it seemingly flattened out again, and then splash, you see like a huge chunk of water is just not there anymore. But you're just casting Chill Touch on like as many times as you can on tendrils.
Basically, yeah, I think so.
Okay. Give me another dexterity. Do you have any advantage to like dexterity from anything?
I have proficiency in dexterity saving throws, or whatever.
Okay,
that
give
means.
me a dexterity saving throw then.
Okay, 13 because I rolled bad again.
Okay, 13. So what happens is a pair of these tendrils reach out and both of them grapple your legs at the same time, and you are just absolutely swept off of your feet. You land on your butt, and as you do, you fall backwards onto your back, and you are slowly being drugged towards the edge of the water.
I think story-wise, we're supposed to go in this lake, fellas.
That's what I'm thinking too.
Yeah.
And funny enough, I was actually
Let's
going
struggle
to say,
more. I need you to struggle more.
Yeah.
Funny enough, I was actually going to say, he just is like, whatever, and he like actually like starts pushing himself towards into the water.
So, well, we'll say you submitted. Then you're just kind of like along for the ride, like letting yourself be drugged towards the water.
Making silly designs with your arms in the sand as you're getting dragged.
This is Nick. Zastara, what are you trying to do?
I'm seeing that both of them are in this water that I just flew out of. And I'm just
So
like...
you're trying to fly up and out of the water, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to do.
Okay, so how far do you fly?
Do these tentacles have an attack of opportunity?
She's dead.
Yeah, you are dead.
I mean,
Why are you dead?
I would have flown like, I don't know, like 10 feet above the water if I could. Just trying to get out of the water and away from, like, to give myself an advantage away from.
I gotcha. So
Clearly
clearly the gig is up here. Yeah, you get snatched out of the air as soon as you reach the surface of the water. You guys all are drugged into the water, as you were meant to be. And as you guys all are sinking backwards into the lake here, you guys can look sideways and see all of you. Like, you can see each other. Zabet, you can see Zastara falling down to the side of you, and just past her, you can see Uvarheim now sinking. And you think for a second, like, man, is this gonna be it? And as you think that and look towards the surface of the lake where the sun still shimmers through, you see, and in fact you all see this at the same time in your own vision, somebody's hand like comes down from above you and hovers just like maybe an inch above your face.
I hope you guys don't drown.
Oh yeah, you don't need to breathe, do you?
So with this hand sort of appearing over your face, you feel like your eyes sort of like roll back into your head. I don't know if you are super familiar with that feeling, but just the strain of your muscles and your eye socket as your eyes roll backwards. And as you feel that, your vision is filled again with the interior of that small stone house that you guys all saw at the start of our little adventure. Mm-hmm. And I also see that it's midnight, so we'll wrap up here pretty quickly. But
I will make a mention. I cannot play on Friday. I won't even be in Arizona. But
oh, no.
Okay, yeah,
that is all right. We'll figure out what to do about that. But we'll say like this is our final little scene before we are done for the night. You guys hear a similar set of like booted footsteps, the heavy boot steps of the man that you heard in the vision as you heard him approach from outside of this room. And he calls out, he says, Mina. And you guys see, again, you are able to see the bed from your perspective. It's the same orange-haired woman. She's sitting up in bed. And she looks at this man and just smiles and says, Matthew. And Matthew walks into the room with just a single hand behind his back, and he says, I'm home, Mina. But shouldn't you be resting? And you can see this woman just like beam for a second. You know how women do when they're so happy that you asked the correct question, but they don't want you to see how happy they are that you asked the correct question. And she says, I'm fine, Matthew. Just behind her, you guys can also see the first King of Cats. And a name enters your mind. It's a very simple name, but this cat's name was Tim. Just regular ass Tim, Tim.
Hell yeah.
No weird ass spelling.
No,
this isn't Descent right now.
Yeah, we're not.
THYJM.
And you can see silent. He's just like perched on the windowsill. You know, cat paws crossed. He is totally comfortable in his space. And Matthew, this gentleman now, brown-haired gentleman that Mina has said is Matthew. Walks across the room and sits on the bed next to her, and from behind his back he pulls a pretty large grip, like 4 or 5 very large dandelion flowers. Mm-hmm. And he says, here, there were lots of these blooming by the garden. I wanted to show you. And you can see like Mina, she just gets rosy cheeked. She's not even trying to hide the smile anymore, and she just says, Thank you so much. Matthew, at this point, though, like leans in and holds her face and like presses his forehead to her forehead and says, How's your fever? And after a moment of just like focusing and thinking and comparing, he says, You're still burning up. And at this point, you can see Tim kind of like get up and move from his place on the windowsill and kind of do that light like hop across furniture that cats do. It's really difficult to describe, but it almost seems like they're weightless when they jump, you know? But he lands on the bed next to them, and you can see Matthew just kind of like trying to brush him out of the way, like just trying to shoo him. He's trying to talk to Mina, like, "Come on, cat.
Matthew's
What are you
cat
doing?"
killer. Got it.
And he kind of like addresses Tim. And he says, "Why don't you get off your butt and go catch some mice or something?" And with that, Tim just hisses at him,
Yeah, he does.
hisses at him, and then jumps off the bed and runs out of the room. After a moment, though, Matthew addresses Mina again. He says, I heard there's a wizard in town right now. I'll ask if they have any good medicine." And with that, you can see Mina's expression kind of become a little more, boy, what's a good word? A little, I don't want to, sullen is the right word? What does sullen mean to you guys?
Like, sad.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so you can see there's like a deep sadness that sweeps across her face. And even though she's still, like, you can tell she appreciates to have him there, the mood is dampened a little bit. And you can hear her say, "I'm sorry, Matthew. I always do this to you." And he responds by saying, "You don't need to apologize. You've always been prone to sickness, and I knew that before we got together. Get some sleep. And when I come back, you better not be knitting any socks or coats like last time." You guys see her smile, and she just obliges and kind of lays that back down, back to you all as from your guys' perspective. And you can see as she kind of relaxes and settles into bed, your guys' vision kind of fades out along with her consciousness. She chooses to go to sleep, and with her sleep, your guys' vision also fades to black. Oh, we're good to start?
Yep. We are streaming and recording.
Meow.
Cool. All right, so yeah, last time we started our little one shot. We entered what seemed like a vision. You guys were all working in the firefly cellar and noticed wisps of incense smoke drifting through the air. You all were teleported, question mark, to some kind of vehicle that appeared train-like. You all had a conversation with a few unknown creatures. Kenku-like fellow, gray cat who you all learned was named Jasper, who explained to you all about how cats have over 9 lives and that they have a civilization and a nation. And in fact, you guys are all on your way to a small village called Uthgar, where the King of Cats presides. You all meet about a dozen cats on the main road of Uthgar and get the chance to speak with Molly, who is the pre-mentioned King of Cats. And she introduces you to a young human girl who she considers to be her own daughter and under her protection. You guys also meet the white and brown cat named Barney, who has some choice remarks to say about spellcasters. Shortly afterwards, the young girl runs back inside, and Molly takes you all on a jaunt through the forest, where you all see a sort of image being projected into your minds as you walk through this cool, damp place, sort of telling the story from the cat's perspective of things that have happened long, long ago. As you guys reach the edge of a lake, you guys are all assaulted and pulled into the water by a set of watery tendrils. And while you all eventually submit because, haha, that's definitely not what you were supposed to do, you all start to sink and are given a vision from a sort of hand that comes from outside of your vision and ends up within inches of touching your face. You guys see a short little scene of a very familiar man with short brown hair that you saw in the vision that Molly gave you. He's referred to as Matthew by his apparent spouse, Mina, who is the young woman you guys saw in your original vision. And they exchange a few pleasantries. Matthew hands her some flowers and lets her know that he has found a mage in town, a wandering wizard. And he's going to go ask them to see if they have any medicine that might be able to cure her unknown illness. She goes to sleep, and as she does, you all kind of fade to black. But so as a reminder, and for Kyle, since you weren't here last time, we have Alexander's character Zabet, who is a 4th level Minotaur barbarian. We have Amanda's character Zestara, who is a 4th level fairy druid, and of course our favorite Uvarheim, the 4th level warforged sorcerer, are all here. So to resume where we left off, you guys feel the sensation of motion as this previous vision sort of fades to black. You feel what feels like a wind blowing past your faces. And as the black kind of gets swept away by this gentle wind, you guys see again another scene, this time in a darkened room. You see a pair of figures kind of huddled over a small table. One you guys instantly recognize as Matthew, the gentleman you just saw in the previous part of this vision, but the other one is a hooded figure, and you're not able to see his face. But as they discuss, you see him sort of point down to a pile of papers, and you can see them kind of motioning back and forth with each other. You see what's you can hear the clinking of coins and the passing of currency. It's easy to understand from this that Matthew is obviously paying this person, and you would assume that this is likely the wizard to which he had referred to previously.
And is this another vision we're seeing, you said?
Yeah, so the way I described it was that as Mina kind of fell asleep at the end of this last part, your vision faded to black as she kind of fell asleep, lost consciousness, and then as we move into this next vision, the blackness is kind of swept away by what you feel is a gentle wind.
Okay.
And then in the same way that you guys began to see this scene, another gentle wind kind of flows past your faces, and the scene changes again. You see a very familiar dark cellar, the same one you saw earlier. If anybody needs a reminder, this is the one where you all saw the shadows of cats being hung from chains and from hooks. And indeed, you do see Matthew now in full clarity. Before, you saw just the shadow of these events, but in this instance, you're able to see Matthew himself, and he's there. He's just like butchering these cats. It's clear now that it was Matthew all along. And you see him sort of, cut a few of the necks and take a few bits of meat and flesh and things. He's also taking the cats themselves and bleeding them into these small vials. And in fact, you see behind him on the table all sorts of alchemical supplies, like little beakers and Bunsen burners and tongs and all manner of alchemical organization and supplies.
And this is still a vision, though.
Yeah, so for like grand scheme meta, what's happening here is you guys are all being kind of shown a story, right? So you would understand with this
dreams
face. You've heard her would be referred to so far as the Queen of Memories.
Queen of Memories.
But yeah, you would all be very conscious and aware of the fact that just moments before you started seeing these visions, as you were sinking through the water, you saw this sort of hand reach down above your face and, without making contact, almost seemingly like forced you into this dream state.
I see.
So let me see. I lost my place here. So, after another moment and having seen this sort of cat butchery, you guys feel as if you're being pulled away, like in a more violent fashion than what you felt with the gentle breezes. This almost feels like somebody grabbed you by the scruff of your neck and is yanking you backwards. You feel almost like a quick jolt as you're yanked, and after a moment, you return to your own bodies. Amanda, you good?
Ugh.
Yeah, I'm fine.
Do you need help?
No.
All right. Okay. So yeah, you guys arrive back into your own bodies. You are all still underwater. But as you kind of regain consciousness and open your eyes and feel this cool water on your faces, you feel that you can breathe. You're able to stand. You're no longer sinking. You can be upright. You can take a deep breath in. It feels refreshing.
Hey, why aren't you guys drowning? Sorry.
Yeah, you can hear that.
Zabet, this large minotaur, is just like freaking out. And I hear you talk underwater. Is that right?
Yep.
I try and talk underwater and go, can I talk?
Yeah, you guys can. You're able to hear him well. When you go to respond, your voice comes out as naturally as if you were speaking on dry land. And you notice also when you see Uvarheim speak and when you go to speak, there's no like bubbles exiting your mouth. It doesn't seem like there's a passage of air coming out of you when you produce these words.
And we don't have any issue with like breathing.
Yeah, no, you can breathe just fine. You take a deep breath in. As I said, it feels cool and refreshing. You can feel the nice, cool water kind of washing across you as this kind of gentle current flows. You guys can tell for sure you're in the same lake, almost exactly where you left.
I'll just say, I don't know. I'm scared.
Oh, yeah.
Don't be scared. You'll either drown or not. It's okay.
So I guess fine detail Kyle also missed out on is that Zabet, the Minotaur barbarian, is indeed, has been explained to the party, a 6-year-old girl who trapped in a Minotaur's body by...
Cursed by a witch.
By a witch.
BT dubs.
A little important detail.
Yeah, small detail.
A little bit.
I'm scared. I don't know what happened.
We fell in the water.
I'm like hyperventilating.
And as you're there hyperventilating, you see a very familiar hand sort of apparate on your chest and just sort of in a comforting way, like, you know how you would put your hand on someone just to be present and to be calming? You see this hand kind of come out of the water itself and press itself against your chest.
I think it's trying to drown you some more.
When it does, you see now an upper arm apparate behind it, and then an elbow, and then a shoulder, and then the rest of a torso, and eventually you see the ghostly visage of this young woman you guys have seen so many times in your visions already. This seems to be Mina, now standing in front of you all in a simple farmer's gown. But something's a little bit odd. You see these roiling black tendrils swirling all around her.
What happened to you?
She responds, "This was my sin and my punishment for resting my laurels on his love. I suppose you could say I'm the core of this corruption."
Why are you corrupting it?
Well, this man, and she just kind of like, she puts her hand out and you can see these black tendrils sort of, again, royal. They're going at speed through the water, don't seem like hindered in the same way that you guys don't feel hindered. This sort of black ooze is just whipping around in this water, and as she puts her hand out, you can see it sort of orbits her hand and her arm a couple times before continuing on its path, spinning around her. But she says to you, like, "This man is affixed to me. He won't let me go."
Matthew?
And as you say his name, she just sort of locks eyes directly with you, and you can see both of her eyes are these vibrant, bright blue. But she nods to you just very, very like somberly, and she says, "It's my fault that he became such an abomination."
Because did he think that killing kitties was going to heal you?
She takes a moment to consider what you've said before nodding once again, and she looks to you again, saying, "Though it's not the entire story. I hesitate to show you anymore, but I have a request
What is it?
for his sake and for mine. Please kill us."
Okay.
I mean, how would
How?
we do that?
It's not very easy.
So you guys agree? You're game for this?
I mean, I'm listening.
Okay.
Yeah, you should
I
have
haven't
died a long time
committed
ago.
yet. You have my attention.
So after a moment and with Uvarheim agreeing and there being curiosity from the rest of you, you guys see these black tendrils swirl faster and faster, and they seeming to be picking up quite a bit of speed. And before you can even really hear her response, you can hear her begin to speak, but you can see these tendrils sort of almost completely envelop this image of Mina. And before she's able to explain to you how or what she wants you to do, you guys wake up. And you guys are all laying on your backs on the shore of this lake. You have Jasper and Barney and this dire Corby gentleman that you guys have met before, all sort of standing over you.
Hmm.
Hello.
In fact, let's see real quick. Zastara, you have Barney, this black and brown cat, actually sort of like jumping on your chest, like kind of pushing, giving you like kitty CPR.
Aw.
Oh, I think that he's trying to attack me and eat me, so I like push him off and I fly up.
Sure, yeah, you do that easily enough, and he just kind of takes a step back and he's, "Wah," and he seems a bit offended.
I'm sorry. I thought you thought I was a snack. I'm not a
Well,
snack.
You're definitely not a snack. So at this point, Molly sort of speaks up from off to the side, and she says, "I'm sorry I didn't come sooner. Did you see what happened to the one who threw you in the water?
Threw us in the water?
Those tendrils, the watery, like they grasped you on the ankles and snatched you. Maybe just to start, snatched you out of the air."
Yeah,
I didn't.
twice.
Couldn't see.
Yeah, I was like this farmer lady.
Oh yeah.
She wants us to kill the people. She's the corruption.
She wants us to kill her and the cat murderer guy.
You
Maybe
see,
that will make
Matthew.
it so that you don't have to sacrifice your last life, Molly.
Yeah, that's another detail I left out. I tried to set Kyle. I'm sorry. I tried to send you as much as I could. I really sent him like pages and pages of this, but I don't know if I included in there. Yeah, this King of Cats, Molly, is if they've been told they have 9 lives, Molly is on their 9th life.
And they get smarter every time they die, so they can like start speaking. And normal cats can't speak though.
And he
Like,
gives up his life.
Youngins, kittens cannot.
He sacrifices his life to keep this evil at bay. So it's not like something he wants to do. She
She
kinda
is the
has to
king
do.
of cats.
That's right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just
that's
in
right.
case.
She is the king of cats. Do you have a problem with that, Alex?
No, I don't.
Okay, just Just checking.
So you can see, yeah, Molly takes this information in, and if you've ever seen a cat be contemplative, this is an image of that. Just sort of looking down towards the ground, seemingly lost in thought. And after a moment, she looks up and catches the attention of a pair of other cats that are nearby, and just instructs them very simply, go clear as many people from the village as you're able to. I
What does that
think,
mean?
well, if
People or cats?
you so you would understand. I mean, if you really want to know, give me an insight check.
11 plus 6, 17.
Yeah, with a 17, you can tell this cat, Molly, has introduced herself as the king of cats, but based on her sort of matronly attitude, especially towards the young girl that you guys met earlier, she considers herself like a steward of not just the cats, but also the people of this village. So you would understand that her instruction when she says move everybody they can out of the village, that would go for both cats and humans.
All right, then.
Okay, so how do we kill them then?
Yeah, we didn't get any information about how to kill them.
Well, as you all saw earlier, the physical manifestation of this corruption is just right over there on the island. The only thing I can think of is to have some sort of physical altercation to engage it in combat.
We can do that. Is there an easy way to get across the lake, or do we have to swim? Because last time we swam, we kind of drowned. Not really, kind of.
There are boats
Fly.
nearby. I would recommend though that you all wait until night falls. There are elements to this forest that may interfere if you do this without some planning.
Oh, like water tendrils?
That's one element you've already encountered. Yes, there's wild magic in this forest, and a lot of those elements tend to be dormant at night. So it may be in your best interest to try then.
Okay. Sounds good to me.
So how many hours until nightfall?
So we'll say this is 8 hours until nightfall, and for sake of game mechanics, you guys at this point you can pick and choose whatever spells or anything you would like. We're gonna treat this sort of as a long rest. You guys haven't really taken any damage or anything like that, but for sake of just convenience and other things, if you guys want to move class features around, automatically set yourself to full health, get all of your stuff situated.
Sweet.
And this will be 8-hour downtime. And this was more built in case we had, obviously we won't need to do that quite as much for a barbarian, for example. But if we had like Voxmillion here and other things, then this would have been your guys' chance to mix things up the way you need it to be.
Gotcha. I am
So,
good to go.
Whenever you guys are set, let me know.
I'm good.
Well, good.
Cool. Okay. Well, then we'll say for sake of brevity then that those 8 hours pass and you guys have all sort of set up camp on the edge of this lake. It's now dark and you can see little fireflies reminiscent of the ones you guys just left in the cellar, in Firefly Cellar, now buzzing around in this cool night air. You guys can feel the warmth of this fire and hear the crackling of burning wood. And after a moment, you see an odd enough sight. You guys see a couple of cats sort of arriving on this very simple rowboat from down the lakeside. They don't seem to be like rowing or paddling or anything, but the boat is just sort of being willed in your guys' direction. And Molly kind of motions to you all, and she says, This should be all you need to reach the island.
I take off the 4 cats that are currently on my lap and stand up and, all right, well, I guess it's time to go. Fluffy, Mittens, Pole, it's been great. And I scritch each one of their heads and get my pack and head towards the rowboat.
Yeah,
Where's the
and as you
last
switch,
cat?
Paul?
which way? Paul.
You only said 3 names, but you had 4 cats.
I hold my head low, and out from under my fur, I pull out a 4th cat, and I hold it up to my face and say, Kevin, I'll miss you the most. And I set Kevin down.
And Kevin just takes a moment and does exactly what that cat's doing right there. Just kind of brushes up against you and presses against your leg before wandering back to the rest of the group. So then I assume you guys are likely just all jumping in this boat?
Come on, Uvarheim.
Oh, yeah, all right, okay.
Yeah, and although this creature has been silent, you guys also see this dire Corby join you guys in the boat.
Corby?
Yes, so this is the shawled, black silk shawled gentleman in the long mage robes you guys met in the terrain on your guys' way in here, who's, popped up a couple of times and had gone off into the forest to investigate. He was present when you guys all came to consciousness
That's right.
after waking up out of the lake.
The Kinku?
And yeah, it's sort of like a Kenku,
Ish.
except he doesn't have like
Right.
feathers, and he's got these crazy clawed hands. But yeah, without a word, this dire Corby gentleman just joins you guys, sitting in the boat next to you as you all gather to disembark.
Oh, hey, it's you again. Do you have a name, by the way?
No, he doesn't have a name.
I'm sorry. He's the shadow guy, the shadow thing.
Yes, Kyle is
The
going
thing
to be
you
playing.
talked massive trash to, yes.
Yeah, the part of
I did.
our robed gentleman.
Well, it's not that I asked. I talked trash to him. It's just that I asked him a lot of questions. He was inquisitive.
Yeah, so you guys, I'll assume you guys kind of all gather up. Who's going to be rowing this boat?
Me.
Who's powering the boat? Okay, so we got Zabet, the engine of this boat. Who's going to be guiding this boat?
I can guide it. I'll just
Okay.
float above the boat in
Sure.
the front.
And you have dark vision? You don't have dark vision.
I will
Oh.
provide light with my eyeballs.
There you go. Okay, cool. So yeah, we have Zabet, the motor of this boat. We have
Headlights.
Zastara, yeah, who's kind of looking out, and then blah, we have Uvarheim, the freaking lighthouse
Nice
sitting
spotlight.
on this boat. And yeah, you guys, unless there's anything else you guys would like to do, you disembark.
So,
I
Uvarheim,
will cast guidance on myself, though, just
Sure.
as I might need some guidance as my path.
Uvarheim, you're saying at the campsite when we were taking our break there that you lived in a cloud city? Do they have any sort of lakes or ponds like this up there?
Aside from the ones that they built, not really. I mean, we have some that collects from the rainfall, but my father does not live on a cloud. He lives on one of the mountain tops.
Oh. So, do the clouds like flow through your city?
Past, around, I don't know. I haven't spent much time aside from whenever we go over there, but not very often. I've only been around for a handful of years, so.
Do you think you could take me to go see this city on the top of the mountain?
Sure. I mean, my father would probably love to see you, study you. Just be careful he doesn't add you to his collection.
Row, 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 row.
So we'll say this is kind of just, you guys can continue doing RP, whatever you like to do, but we'll say that you guys are kind of on the move now. So Zastar, why don't you give me a perception check with advantage, since we have Uvarheim's headlights sort of lighting the area.
Well, that's good because that would have been a 7. So a dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Yeah, you guys are out there and you can hear the soft lapping of water against the edge of the boat here. You guys, you particularly have your ear kind of tuned to the environment around you, and everything sounds very oddly still. Like almost this entire area is waiting in apprehension. There's not a single insect chirp. There's not a single bird sound. You don't hear any fish on the surface of the water. All you can hear is the sound of this water sort of as each gentle wave in the lake comes across, bumping up against your boat. But after just a moment and after concentrated listening, you hear what sounds like a small giggle, like,
I don't think that this is a good thing.
That was weird.
and as you say that, you see, with the dirty 20 especially, out of your periphery, you see this small winged creature kind of come out of the darkness and flit past your space. Now, with Zistara being a fairy, this creature would probably be about the same size as you. And in the moonlight, especially with a roll of 20, you catch a few different features as this creature kind of flits by. First of all, this seems to be a greenish creature. Has what looks like small leafy antennas protruding from its forehead. It has no arms to speak of, but seems to have these sort of, downwardly jointed wings, sort of like a bird's wings. You see what looks like the flash of some pointed ears, some taloned feet, and as she passes by, you hear the rush of a bit of wind, and you catch the glint of these perfectly black eyes with a red iris.
Is this the description of a harpy?
This is not a harpy. Though it's close. I guess if you looked at it, you might suspect that this is a very small harpy. Like I said, this is about the same size as Zistara. So this is a small size creature, about the same size as you would have seen a fairy.
Quasi.
But after a moment, you see this same creature and probably about 2 or 3 more all kind of flit around very quickly and then come to a stop midair and seem to be like hovering in the air in front of your boat, matching your speed, just sort of going along as you guys do. What do you guys do?
Do I see it as well?
Yeah, you would. There'd be, even though you're probably facing backwards as you row, there'd be probably another pair of these little creatures that come on the back end of this boat. So you guys would see a total of maybe 5 of these small winged creatures. And even though they don't like flap their wings, they're holding their position in the air, in space, like with ease.
I stop.
They're going with us? Like in front of us?
Yes, so they've come almost right up onto the boat, and they've matched your speed. So as your boat kind of glides across the surface of the water of this lake, they
Hey, Blake,
are relatively stationary.
have they matched our speed?
They have definitely matched your speed. They're definitely going at pretty much the same speed by matching it, and they're there in the air.
Oh, okay. So one might say they're matching our speed. Okay, wait.
Have definitely matched your speed.
I pull in my oars. I pull in both my oars and pull one out and just like shift from one to the other. What do you want? I'm kind of swatting at them like flies, but not trying to actually hit, just kind of scare them.
Yeah, as you ask that question, one of them comes and actually just lands on your shoulder. And even though I described them as having taloned feet, it's gentle. Like, they don't carve their talons into your shoulder by any means. In fact, you don't feel much pressure whatsoever. But
I lock up and freeze like a beetle.
Maybe
Just
they
walked
just
up on
want
my shoulder.
Scritches a bit.
Are you little green birds?
Maybe. Hey, he really likes birds, and you like to 2 screeches. Maybe they're friendly.
I froze completely.
Hey, bird guy, you're a bird. Do these look like birds?
Well, they should not put enough sun to make them exploding an ice bottle upstairs on the carpet.
Oh boy, that sounds like a parental situation.
Kyle,
Um,
you're the bird man, by the way, that
Yep.
Ethan was talking to.
You're a bird guy.
you're Harvey Birdman.
Oh, sorry. Say it again. I was
Bird
reading.
guy, you're a bird. Do these look like birds?
Well, they don't look like birds, I imagine. So, you would hear a no.
And in
your
fact,
brain.
Kyle, your character would know these creatures are called aerials. Aerial, aerials.
Look that up. I've never heard of those.
That's because they're not in D&D.
Oh.
Areolas.
Areolas. These ones happen to be pink, though you've heard they come in brown. Let me go check on Amanda real quick and see if this is a quick. Oh, she just yelled. She's good. So all right, we'll continue. Zabet, you as you feel this thing land on your shoulder, you hear what sounds like a whisper in your ear, though this creature doesn't lean in to make any noise in your actual physical ear. You hear what sounds like a whisper, and it says, "Are you finally going to cleanse the spirit of that man?"
I sigh with a huge relief, just feeling and knowing in my heart that this is an ally. Only someone who wants this to happen would be an ally. I go, yeah, I think we're gonna go and do whatever that is and cleanse the spirit of. Yes, are you gonna help us?
Do the rest of us hear that, by the way?
You don't.
Okay.
But after you do hear Zabet respond out loud, you hear all 5 of them respond in chorus. Like each of them seem to be slightly harmonizing with the others, and they all say, "We'll help you. Cleansing is what we're good at.
Good.
Cleansing and extinguishing."
Ooh,
That's
that
good.
sounds fun.
I know
I'm
what
glad you're not
cleansing
here to
is.
extinguish us.
Well, we'll cleanse you someday. The wind clears away everything. Meat and bones, even trees and boulders.
Oh,
We weather it all away.
Fabulous.
okay.
I just
so
look
how
to
do
the
we-
others out of confusion, like, oh wait, what?
So, this way, right? And I point.
And yeah, they nod and we'll take you there. And you feel this sudden rush of wind from behind you guys. Zabet, you no longer have to row.
I
In
stand
fact,
up in
this-
the back, make the boat tilt upward, put my arms up,
Yeah.
and go, woo!
Yeah, you do. You see just
Higher
like,
pitch, please.
water spray coming off the front of this boat as you guys are shoved forcefully towards this island. Why don't you all give me one more perception check?
Okay.
18.
21.
15.
Damn. Those are all super
3.
good. Oh no. So
Sorry,
yeah,
I was
Shadow is
reading
not
my
very
bonus.
perceptive.
Bonus was 3. 9 total.
okay. Yeah, so you would all see this then. This is a simple enough sight. You guys catch the moonlight reflecting off of what you guys can now see is this roiling black mass in the center of this island. It's getting larger and larger as you guys approach. I mentioned earlier that there was a tree on this island. This, where you saw just sort of this black shadow and wispy miasma during the day, this creature now is almost half the size of this tree as it burbles and swirls off the ground as you guys approach.
Is this the thing we're supposed to kill?
I don't think we should put our boat into it, though. Can we go around it?
So this thing is still towards the center of this small island. You guys could tell, especially with the perception rolls you guys just made, that there's room enough for you guys to at least park the boat and disembark here without risking being enveloped by whatever this blackness is.
Yeah, I mean, so do they push the boat onto that shore then? 'Cause
Yeah,
they're-
you guys
they're
are being
controlling it.
shoved.
Yeah.
Is there anything you guys want to do? You wanna? I mean, this is going to be your opportunity to like withdraw weapons or prepare items or whatever it is you'd like to do.
I do not withdraw any weapons. I walk out.
Okay. Anything else from anybody else?
Just walk out. Also.
Sure. Yeah, after a moment, you guys feel the thud as the boat is like forcefully shoved. You guys don't slow down at all. This wind just kind of shoves you all the way up onto shore here.
Ooh.
And
Seeing
yes?
that this is going to happen, that we're going to have this kind of abrupt stop, I kind of gear up and kind of wiggle my butt in excitement so that when it hits, I want to try and leap over everybody when it stops with that momentum.
Sure. Yeah. How far are you trying to leap?
Just over everybody, over the entire boat.
Okay.
No big deal.
Give me an athletics check with advantage.
Okay, +7.
Would I see him
20
trying to do
plus
this?
7.
Would I wouldn't be able to get out of the way because I am above the boat.
So, what was your total roll?
27 with a natural 20.
Oh shit! Yeah. So you can leap as far as you'd like, and you'll definitely clear Zestara. Where is it? You're trying to land just on the other side of the boat?
Just on the
Like
shore.
out
Yeah, just
on
on
the shore,
the other side
yeah.
of the boat. Yeah. So I go for height more than distance to get over Zatara, and then I land and I turn around and I throw my fist up and go, "Woo!"
Yeah, you guys all feel this sort of as the boat sort of is pushed underneath the weight of this minotaur leaping through the air that way. You see Zabet absolutely clear all of you and land between yourself and the ooze. And you see Zabet do a very appropriate celebration. As
Very
yes?
good.
Do you think?
let me ask two.
Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Okay, I was gonna say we're all like, in what order would you guys disembark? We'll say definitely Zabet is up in front, right?
Yeah,
Because
for
Zabet
sure.
just did a really sick leap. So, where else are all the rest of you getting out?
Probably right next to. I was a couple feet in the air, so.
Probably right behind her.
Okay, and then Kyle.
Follow up the rear, all slow and regal like.
Sure.
Like.
Okay. Great. So yeah, Zabet, as you sort of land and you're doing the celebratory woo, you kind of glance over your shoulder for a second and you see this ooze reacts to your presence. It sort of swirls and it almost forms like this large, thick tentacle that reaches out towards you. It doesn't seem to be moving too quickly, but it's like very slowly, like progressing its way through space. Do you do anything as it approaches?
Back up.
Sure.
Yeah, I just back up, and if it just continues to move towards me, I would. So I have an idea of like how I want my character to handle these type of things, and it's like going against my D&D bones. I back up and run away a bit.
Sure. How far do you think you would run?
Just behind someone else,
Okay, we'll
as a
put you
child might
behind,
do.
like Zestara.
Yeah,
So
the fairy.
You're like hiding behind this fairy as much as a minotaur can.
I
Yeah,
honestly
yeah.
probably wouldn't go behind Zestara because she's been kind of trolling me a bit.
Okay.
So I'd probably hide behind Uvarheim, actually.
Probably.
Behind Uvarheim.
Yeah.
All right.
Telepathically,
Sounds
I tell Uvarheim she might be strong, but maybe not that smart.
So
yeah, maybe
as
she's 6 years old?
as you're sending this telepathic message, you see this like black oozy tentacle like almost react to Zabet's retreat. Like as Zabet moves backwards and hides behind Uvarheim, you see this tentacle as it was growing just suddenly cease, and then it rises really quickly right up to your face, Stara. And from within this ooze, you see what looks like almost a skull, but it's more translucent.
Dope.
You see this sort of face come almost right up to the edge of this ooze and just looks at you for a second. And after that moment, it goes. And I need you guys to
You
roll
actually say
initiative.
words?
Your
Or
microphone
you
did
just
not pick up what
scream?
you just did.
Oh fuck!
It was just
It's like. Oh!
okay.
But no words, just yelling.
Just yelling.
Mina. It yelled Mina.
It
Oh,
yelled
okay.
Mina.
definitely could not
Okay.
hear that.
All right.
The downside to good mics, how crazy.
Yeah, here. Hold on, let's see
Yeah.
if I can. Hold on, let's see. I can do this. I can do this. There we go. There you go. Whoa, Mina!
There we go.
There.
Much better.
That's better.
We are not mean. Do you want to die though?
Yeah, roll initiative. You guys
Yeah.
are going to be in
Not
combat.
Mina, we're nicer.
16.
All right, let me get my combat thingamajig up.
16.
All right, so we got Ancient Magus's Bride. We're gonna run this for
By the way, I couldn't get map to work on OBS, so we will not have a recording of the map.
That is a-okay. All right, not those three. We're gonna 1, 2, freedom. Yeah, I kind of anticipated you guys being on a few of your regular characters for this, but that is a-okay. I can run this just fine. We'll see how this works
Should we
out.
provide
Alright, so-
tokens?
Straight decks, right?
Oh yeah, here. Let me move the map over so you guys can actually see what the fuck is up.
I see me. That's it.
Oh, now the map is
See me in the
working.
darkness.
All right, so and
I see
Uvarheim is providing bright light. So we'll see, say this much. Can you guys see that?
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yes.
I see black.
Oh, okay.
Refresh.
You get vision.
Just
How about
a
now?
little bit, yeah. Oh, I have vision.
There you go.
Nice.
Good old dynamic lighting. I have to make sure everybody has eyes manually.
Cool.
By the way,
s-
never mind.
Mhm.
Nothing.
All right, so it was Zabet. What was your initiative?
17.
17, and Kyle?
So initiative is just dex, right? A dex roll?
Correct.
Yeah, D20 plus
Yeah,
Dex.
9.
9. All right, and Zestara?
16.
Teen? What teen?
16.
16. All right, and Uvarheim? Uvarheim?
Ethan.
Is
Ethan?
he frozen?
He is frozen.
Oh, he is
I
frozen.
think so. Okay.
That is so funny. I thought he was
Boy,
just thinking
he's deep in
super.
thought.
Oh, whoa.
Oh,
Actually,
He like
Whoa.
sped through.
I'm back. I'm back, it looks like. I don't know what happened there. I guess my internet dropped for a second.
That's hilarious.
8,
How's-
by the way.
8. All right, very good. And oh boy, did they roll good.
Good.
Time for us to die.
All right. So let me put some music on. Sorry, I probably should have had this ready to go. Actually, Alex, do you mind putting on
Got
just
it.
like any old combat music? Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. Cool. First is going to be this ooze is going to make an attack. Let's see. Well, they're going to move first, but they're going to move all 30 feet right up to Zestara. So Zestara, you're going to get attacked first.
Love it.
Gotta have it.
Oh, good. Where's my shit?
Holy crap,
That
that's
is
massive.
a 19 to hit.
Probably. Yeah, sure does.
Okay. Please take 10 bludgeoning damage.
I don't want to.
Well, you must.
Okay.
And then several other black, like, pseudopods reach out from the sides of this thing and are going to smack. We're going to do Uvarheim next. Uvarheim,
Okay.
I assume an 8 does not hit.
No.
All right, next up then is going to be Zestara once again. That's a natural 1, so good. And then Uvarheim, I assume a 9 doesn't hit.
No.
Okay, we're off to a great start. Zabet, it's going to be your turn, followed by Zestara.
I will sheepishly walk behind Uverheim over to
You got this.
over to Zastar and say, "You got this!" And I'll use Cure Wounds off of my amulet. And I will cast
Oh, sweet.
Cure Wounds on you. And then I will move back behind Uvarheim again. You get 7 health. That was a good roll.
Thanks. Next time, will you smush it to pieces?
Just shakes her head no.
Don't worry, the worst that will happen is you'll die.
Uvarheim.
What? It'll happen
is that your
either
turn?
way.
Yeah, that's my
Might as
turn.
well go
Sorry,
down
yes, I'm done.
fighting.
Next up is Zastara, followed by Kyle's character, the Dire Corby.
I'm going to.
Forgot to use the thing that we specifically mentioned, so I'll keep on top of it from now.
Hey, quick question.
Oh, yeah, that's a
Retro.
great question.
Sorry.
Zabet, give me a wisdom saving throw real quick.
Oh, wisdom save?
Yep.
Natural 20 minus
Yeah,
2.
you're fine.
Okay. Hey,
You're A-okay.
question though. I'm looking at the Cure Wounds spell that's on this amulet. It says you touch a creature, regain a number of hit points, 1d8 plus your spellcasting ability modifier, which is wisdom for the spell. I have a minus 2 to wisdom. Does that mean she only gets 5 health?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
What?
This
That's
is even more useless than I thought. Cool. You get 5 health back, not 7. So,
I just took away 2. All right.
okay, done.
All right. It's my
All
turn
right,
to.
so for the
Thanks.
purposes of combat, yeah, all of you at the start of your turn, please roll a wisdom saving throw when it comes to your turn. I'll let you know what's up.
Before we do anything.
Before anything else, at the start of your turn, you all hear this sort of low guttural rumbling. It almost sounds like, have you guys ever heard the like Mongolian throat singing before?
Yes.
So it sounds like that, but you can't really pin down where it's coming from.
Did they freeze? They froze.
Yes.
Oh, Ethan just sped up.
Did it do it?
It did for you. Yeah.
I was hoping. Oh, only 2 of you are. I can't see the others yet.
Who froze?
Wow, internet is butt today. The
Must-
Marys are frozen.
Yeah, the Marys are frozen.
Okay.
Should we change the region that the server
Location.
is?
Yeah. Yes.
Let me do that. Oh wait, I can't. One of you has to do it.
Can't? Alright. Remind me how.
You go into
From-
top left,
Oh.
then
Well,
server
it's a natural
settings.
20
Uh-oh.
plus 6, so 26. Good.
And they're froze again.
Oh, hey, we're
They moved it.
on. Hello.
Hey,
Are we back?
think so? Yeah.
Yes, you're
Sort
back.
of.
Our entire internet just dropped for 5 seconds and then decided to come back. So
Weird.
Oh, it was more than 5 seconds.
Yeah, that was a while.
Well, we were yelling back and forth to each other, saying, "No, I'm frozen."
No, you're
I'm trying to
frozen.
remember how to change the server location. Hoping that it
I
might
think
help.
they moved it. It used to just be in settings. They may have removed it or something. Might be automatic.
All right. So I don't know if you heard me, but I got a natural 20 plus 6.
Nice.
and I was so distracted by being disconnected. What was it that you were rolling even? Wisdom save.
Wisdom.
Yes, my wisdom save.
Okay, great. All right, I think we're back on track then. Cool. Yeah, you are A-okay. What would you like to do?
I'm going to start off with a bang, and I'm going to do a 3rd level guiding bolt to her ass.
Okay. Now, I mentioned there was a couple other like pseudopod tendrils that have been reaching out. I will say, for the purpose of this fight, you can target the main body or each of these pseudopods individually. What would you like to do? What are
I'm
you
doing
shooting
the
at?
main body.
Okay,
I got a 23.
23. Yeah, for sure hits.
And it's 5d6. I rolled 12.
12 damage.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do 12 damage, and that's what kind of? It's radiant.
Yes. I think. Oh no, that says round. action, damage. Has a picture of a star. Yeah, radiant. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, just being in the habit of letting me know what type of damage it is. So yeah, great. You see this guiding bolt erupt from the little fairy Zastara, impacts with this deep black ooze, and while you do see a bit of a shimmer and a shine coming off the edges of it, the interior remains this sort of void-like black.
And then I'm going to bonus action. Wait. No. No. I think I'm. You can expand. Yeah. Okay, I can use my bonus action as a starry form. So I'm gonna bonus action turn into a starry form archer.
Cool. Okay.
And that's it.
Nice. All right. Next up then is Kyle's character, the Dire Corby, followed by Uvarheim.
Yeah.
Do you have to do a wisdom save?
Nope.
Okay.
Cool. I'm going to... And I want to use this fancy help action and help somebody attack the creature, but I don't know how to really RP, like, because you have to do it within 5 feet of a friendly player. So I'd be like, right up here, I help you, and then run away.
Sure, and we'll say for purposes of RP and immersion that you see these sort of black thorns emerge from this Dire Corby's hands and just touch you for a second. You feel helped.
Who are you helping?
Minotaur lady.
Oh, you're helping Zabet. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I thought you were helping
Giving her
Uvarheim.
some. Yeah.
Okay.
Because I feel like you would benefit more from the help action.
Okay. I'll just... Mr. Bird, I'm really scared. And then I guess you touch me, and I'm like, okay.
Let the big bird help you.
All right. I trust you, Uvarheim.
That looks like flanking.
Sure is.
Nope.
35 movement. And I'm going to claw at this thing.
Go for it.
$14 to hit.
14 unfortunately misses.
Oh.
Okay.
Did
Well,
you roll
I
with
got
advantage or
multi-attack,
flanking?
so second. Oh yeah. Yeah, much better. That's why I went over there. 20, dirty 20.
You literally
That
said
hits.
I'm flanking, and then rolled a single time. I'm flanking. Disadvantage.
7 damage.
Damn. Damn.
And then my second attack
Also flanking.
is an 18 to hit.
18
Sorry,
hits.
a 19 to hit. All
That
right.
hits.
Ooh, max damage. 11.
11 damage. Yeah, you are just like slashing with both claws. You see spatters of this ooze being flung in every direction, and as it impacts the ground farther away, you see it just sort of sizzle and disappear. It's almost evaporating into the night air.
Cool. That's all of my turn.
All right,
Action, extra attack, and bonus action.
Great. Next up then is Uvarheim, followed by some NPCs, and then we're back around to Zabet.
So I roll wisdom save first?
We'll go ahead and roll a wisdom save, yep. And I'll just say for purposes of this, everybody except for Kyle's character will roll a wisdom save, for sure, 100%
9
of the
because
time.
I have a negative. Oh wait, save. Still
Yes.
9 because I have a negative.
So for this turn, you are only able to use the dash action. You cannot climb, cast spells, or... Well, you can cast cantrips, but you can't cast anything higher than a cantrip.
Oh, okay.
So, dash and cantrips, that's it.
Dash and cantrips. Interesting. Okay. So then he'll
Unable to use the dash action. Never mind.
Oh, okay. Well, that's
You may
fine.
not use the dash action. So, good catch, Kyle. I'm good at reading blocks of text for sure.
Then he'll just kind of sidestep, I guess, over here.
Okay, sure.
And then do a chill touch,
Go for it.
which
That was
is
really
a 21
cool.
to hit.
Is it what to hit?
21 to hit.
That hits.
All right. And it does 3 necrotic damage. They cannot heal until the start of my next turn. And if they're undead, they have disadvantage on attack rolls against me. And they cannot heal, by the way.
Excellent. Very good. All
A lot of
right.
things going on with that spell. Anyway, go ahead.
Is that your turn?
That's my turn.
Very good. All right. Next up is going to be Matthew. Then once again, he is going to. I know it's such a shock and surprise.
He's the whole time.
Zabet, go ahead and
Again?
give me a dexterity saving throw.
Dex save +1. That's a natural 1.
Natural 1. All right.
But you're being helped. Just kidding.
Yeah. I suppose. I mean, that's a help for the attack action, though, isn't
Yeah.
it? Is that how that works? Yeah.
Yeah.
So Zabet, you feel one of these black tentacles reach out and grab you. It just wraps around your waist and seems to sort of start enveloping your torso. You are lifted about 5 feet off the air. You are grappled, and you feel yourself starting to become short of breath.
I start screaming, and then I stop screaming because I lost all my breath from the squeeze and the screaming. Yeah. Okay.
You please take. Oh boy. 17 necrotic damage.
Oh my god.
Whoa!
Okay. Yeah, I let out a piercing scream.
And
Am I put back down or released?
no,
I'm restrained?
you are currently grappled, restrained,
From that
and
far away?
unable to breathe. Yes.
Okay.
Oh shit!
So you are pulled. I'll just go ahead and move your character. You're pulled right up to the creature
Okay.
to maintain this restraint, and yeah, you feel yourself begin to suffocate
Cool.
with this pressing on your body.
Cool. Good thing I have the help action. Jesus.
All right. Then one of these pseudopods is going to reach out and attempt to touch Zistara. That's a natural 20.
Oh my gosh.
She's been
Please
touched.
take 11 bludgeoning damage.
Yay.
And then another one's going to reach out and try and touch the dire Corby. I should probably also tell you, for purposes of this encounter, your health is 40.
Total?
My max is
What?
40 instead of
No,
whatever it
Kyle's.
was.
Kyle's health
Oh,
is
okay.
40.
I was like, huh?
Much better
'Cause
than I
he's-
thought it was.
He's using a monster stat block, so I had to make sure that he knew what was going on. It reaches out to touch you. I assume a dirty 20 hits. You take 5 damage. 5 damage. And also, Zistara, what armor are you wearing?
What armor?
Yeah.
Good question. I think I forgot to put armor on my thing.
Well, that would be
What class are you?
interesting.
I'm a druid.
It's probably leather of some
Druid.
sort, set of leather.
Can I add it?
You are. Yeah, you're not wearing armor. That's bizarre.
No.
No,
Druids get unarmored defense?
but yeah, no, they don't. Nope.
They just can't wear metal.
No, I can't have studded leather.
Nope, you may not. Sorry. You suck. Haha. Kyle, you feel your armor class reduced by 1.
Oh, no.
And I took 5 damage.
And you took 5 damage. 5 necrotic damage, yep. Oh, shoot. I just closed my... come back. Where's my... Yeah, there you go. Reopen, close tab. Is it gonna make me do it over again? Oh fuck, it is. Okay, all right. What was your guys' initiatives? Do you remember?
8.
16.
17.
Kyle's was 9.
9. Okay, I thought it was 9.
8,
Yeah.
9, 16, and what?
17 for me. Kyle was 9.
17. All right, cool. We're back in biz, and I'll make sure to reduce this guy's health back down to what it was.
Did you close the encounter on D&D Beyond?
I did.
They were talking about having it like auto save and stuff if you leave battle in the middle.
Yes. I was very pleased to see that.
Yeah. Yeah, me too.
All right. Okay. So here we go.
I don't feel like I have to have a session last until 1:30 to finish it because I don't want to write down all the initiative and health of everything.
Seriously, it's going to be a huge help.
Yeah.
All right. So that was that one, and then that's it. Actually, okay. So that's all of them. So then next up is Zibet, followed by Zistara.
Zabet is screaming, and you can see the Minotaur body acting like a child being restrained and is clawing and just screaming in fear. And then you see a shift in the eyes as the eyes go wide, and you just see the nose of this Minotaur and I go into a rage and I start clawing at the scoop. I'm going to attempt to get out using my strength. Is that right? And I'm going to do it with advantage because I'm raging.
Yes.
That's is that a strength save or a strength check?
Strength check. Contested strength check.
18.
Yeah, you break this grapple.
And that would be my action. That's my bonus action. I have movement, but I'm just going to stay put. Actually, I'm going to run... Crap, that was laggy. 30 feet. I'm going to get here. I'm going to get between it and Uvarheim. And pull out my great axe as well as my free action.
Sounds very good. All right. Next up is Zistara, followed by the dire Corby. I'm just going to call you Corby. You don't have to be that dire.
Corby Dallas.
Kobe.
Multipass.
Kobe is for accuracy.
That's right. What was it? Kobe's for accuracy and...
I can't remember that one. I'm too much of a boomer.
Oh, yeeting.
Yeet.
Yeeting is for style or
for
swag
power,
or something.
distance.
Power.
All right, Zistara, it's your turn.
What the hell are you on about?
It's slang.
It's a Zoomer meme.
Yeah.
I am going to... How hurt are you, Zabet?
You look over Zabet. I mean, you see... How would I describe it? Because it's just... Oh, it's necrotic. I mean, you see, like, the fur on me, like, a lot of it is wilted. A good amount of it looks pretty wilted, hunched over, breathing heavy, but I've also entered a rage. There's, like, this black ooze coming out of my nostrils and mouth as I'm, like, more animal now than you wouldn't recognize this as a little girl in the moment.
Okay. I'm gonna cast another guiding bolt at the 3rd level.
Okay.
Yeah,
One
that's
of the
what I'm
pseudopods or the main body?
How many pseudopods are there?
There are like 3. You can see 3 distinct clumps of pseudopods.
Which, if you're casting Guiding Bolt right next to it, you'd be doing it at a disadvantage. I don't know if you did that last time.
Oh.
Spells have to be...
No.
You have to have a distance away.
I forgot that I'm...
And did you do your wisdom save?
I've not done that yet, so I'll do that now.
Oh, do I need to do a wisdom save?
Yes.
Sorry.
I don't think it actually applies
It's
that
not
much to
going to affect
Zabet.
the turn that you had.
Oh, good, because I got a 2.
You
Yes,
can't
you just
have
feel like you can't
dashed.
run. You can't run away. Yeah.
So
Okay.
it would be 12.
12. Yeah, you pass.
Okay. So I'm actually going to go ahead and bonus action, because I should have not done Archer. I should have done Chalice, which I'm going to do. So I'm going to turn into a Chalice now.
So you're using your second wild shape charge?
Yeah, because
You're a cup?
Yeah. I meant to do that one in the first
She's not
place.
even a regular cup.
star
She's the
formation.
constellation of a cup.
But yeah, I am going to use my second one because I think that would be more helpful. And then I'm going to... what do I want to do? Oh, I need to go over to my thing. Okay. I'm gonna move here.
Okay, it's
you're
gonna
gonna
reach out
attack me?
and it sure is. Yep.
Reach out and touch me.
I assume though that 12 doesn't hit.
No, it
Oh
does
yeah, you
not.
got a 13. Man, even without your armor on, it can't hit you.
Okay, and then I'm going to.
Man, I have like
now
crazy
I'm
allergies all of a
gonna
sudden.
guiding bolt. What?
I said, wow, I'm having like crazy allergies all of a sudden. Go ahead.
All these dang
I'm
cats.
Yeah, they're like getting in my eyes. Ugh.
Yeah, I'm gonna guiding bolt.
Okay, guiding bolt.
I am 30-20 to hit,
That hits.
and 17 damage.
Damn, 17 damage. Yeah, you see this thing get absolutely withered by this radiant energy as it impacts. Is there anything else you'd like to do?
No, that's it.
Okay, next up then is Corby, followed by Uvarheim.
All right, I'm moving back to here. 'Cause I'm a
Good.
smart Corby.
Good flanking maneuver.
And I actually read help action wrong last time, but it was okay. I don't have to be next to you. I have to be 5 feet of the creature that I'm
there you
helping
go.
you attack.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
I'm
what I was
going to-
thinking too.
Distract the creature for you to attack on your next turn.
Boogity boogity boo.
So the good thing
And-
about help is you don't actually have to separate and flank on the opposite side because that help will let me flank.
Yeah, but you move around some, so.
True. True.
You can use it as a bonus action anyway. It's like the only thing he can do as a bonus action.
Oh,
so
nice.
Yeah, and I'm clawing at it. That's a 17 to hit.
that hits.
Sweet. All right. 7 damage.
7 damage. As your claws impact with this mound, this pile of black gunk, this corruption, you slash and you see the portion where the head appeared sort of shrink and disappear, and then pushes itself into the much smaller tendril of one of the side sections.
Oh, creepy. Well, I'm going to slash at that one, at the new one.
Okay.
That is, I keep forgetting, 18 to hit and
18 hits.
7 damage.
7 damage, very good.
Claw, claw.
Nice.
End of my turn.
Okay, great. Next up then is Uvarheim, followed by this big ooze man.
Wisdom save first,
Yes.
which I also fucking 4 damage.
All right, cantrips only.
Cool. Okay. I guess I'll chill touch it again.
All right. Go for it.
Is it undead, by the way?
It is not. You did not seem to impose any sort of disadvantage with your...
Okay.
Touch.
I'm assuming I don't hit 11.
Yes, that misses.
That's my turn.
All right.
I'm getting unlucky.
Uvarheim, since you are casting these spells and seem most affected by whatever this effect may be, it's going to reach out and try to grapple you. Please make a dexterity saving throw.
Okay. I'm rolling very good tonight. 14.
14, yeah, you see a big black tentacle reach out and try to wrap around your waist in the same way as it had before Zabet, but you just very nimbly dodge out of the way. Next up is going to be one of the side pseudopods. It's going to reach out at Zabet. That's a 21 to hit. I assume that
Absolutely.
hits.
Yep.
You take 3 damage, please.
Half-
3 bludgeoning damage.
half to
Yeah,
one?
half to 1. And -1 penalty to your armor class.
-1. No. Move on.
Well, fuck. Damn it. I tried.
Minus-
Corby, it's going to reach out and try to touch you as well. Oh, that does not hit. That's a 5. All right. Next up then is Zabet, followed by Zestara.
Oh, next up is the bet. That's me. I'm going to take the help action. I'm going to hit with Rage. That's a 24 to hit. This could be my
That for sure hits.
D12 plus 7 because I'm raging. That's 12 slashing damage with my great
12
axe.
slashing damage. Yeah, you bisect a section of this ooze, and again, you see it sort of slop off to the side and as it impacts to the ground, in the same way that Corby saw earlier, it sort of lands and sizzles and evaporates at the touch of the earth.
I hack that off, and as it sizzles, I go over to it and I start stomping on with my feet, and I'm just like nothing like what Zabet was like. And I will stay put.
All right. Next up then is Zestara, followed by Corby.
I'm going to move right here, touch Zabet's arm, be like, "You got this!" And I am going to cure wounds at the first level. You get 6 health back.
Thank you, Amanda.
Because I'm in my chalice, I also get to heal for another something. I have too many things on my stuff. I think it's another 1d.
Yeah, Circle of the Stars druid, by the way, apparently very overlooked, very underrated.
Really?
I mean, that's what that Constellation
you?
Dragon was from.
Oh.
1d8 plus. So I'm going to heal myself.
Okay, great. You heal yourself. Anything else?
Nope, that's it.
Okay, next up is Corby, followed by Uvarheim. Oh, Amanda, did you happen to roll a wisdom save?
I did not. I guess I'll do that first.
Let's hope you roll better than what
That's
you need
12.
to. That
Nailed it.
That passes. Yep,
Yeah.
that's so you're good. So yeah,
Good. I healed
continue on.
myself for 10.
Jeez.
Very good. Next up then is Corby, followed by Uvarheim.
I think help actually does help with spell attacks too. So
I'm
this time
sorry.
I'm gonna try helping. Yeah.
I'm also moving a little bit away. Like right there.
Okay.
I'm moving back. Oh, did I mess that up?
But anyway, I help Uverheim, and then I claw attack. Ooh, this is a bad. It's 12 to hit.
That does not hit.
All right. Well, then I claw again.
But better.
Way better. That's like over 20 to hit. 5
Oh
damage.
damn! All right,
Flash.
5 damage. Very good. All right, is that the end of your turn?
Yes.
All right, next up is Uvarheim, and on deck after that is Zabet.
I got an exactly 10 for a wisdom save.
Does not pass.
Of course
Dang,
not.
dude.
I'm so sorry.
This is supposed
Can
to be
I
his
make-
moment.
Can
know.
I make melee attacks?
Yeah, yep. The only thing you may not do is take the dash action, climb, or cast spells other than cantrips.
Okay. Annoyed that that I seem to be unable to spark my ability, I'm just gonna be like, fuck it, or fuck it, and walk up, pull out my fucking dagger, and try to attack him.
Okay.
And I have advantage because of the help action, right?
You do. Yeah,
And
because
he's
of flanking.
gonna be flanking.
16 to hit.
That hits.
Haha! Fuck you. And I'm not gonna do very much damage. 3 slashing. Or,
Oh my god.
wait, what is it? Piercing. 3 piercing damage.
Yeah, you do. You pierce it and you see it split, and where it splits, it actually kind of slops off and slumps over the mass that you carved, just landing within the body itself again. But you can tell you've done actual damage.
And that's it.
All right. Next up is going to be this tentacle man who's going to react to being shanked, prison style, and is going to reach out. Uvarheim, give me another dexterity save.
19.
19, yeah, again, it whips out that tentacle to try to pick you up and is not able to do so. It is going to reach out, though, with one of its pseudopods. Does a 16 hit?
1 second. Shield. It does.
Shield. Okay, it does not hit. Very good. Zabet, another one's going to reach out and try to touch you.
Okay.
Does a 17 hit?
Absolutely.
Okay. 3 bludgeoning damage reduced to 1.
Okay.
Okay.
AC drops again by 1.
Another AC drop. Yep.
All right, -2 now. Okay.
All right, and that's it. Zabet, it is your turn, followed by Zastara.
All right, I am going to continue to hack away in my very upset form. I rolled an 18 to hit.
That hits.
D12 plus 7. Damn, that's a 1, so 8 damage.
8 damage. Very good.
And that
Yeah, you
is
guys
my
are just
go.
kind of hacking and slashing away at this thing.
Yeah.
Next up is Zastara, followed by Corby.
I'm going to roll my thing for you. 15 for wisdom.
I forgot wisdom save.
Okay.
7. Nope, 4.
That's okay. It
yeah,
the only
it
thing
doesn't really
you're
affect me, that's
affected
right.
is just you can't dash. Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
So unless you're gonna dash, you can even just submit to it if you feel like it.
Understood. Yep, yep.
And then I'm going to I'm going to decide how to play my character.
Classic Amanda, am I right?
Super
What?
yes.
Nothing?
Just
Sure
don't
go.
respond to any jides. Please read your stuff and go.
Yeah, you're good.
I'm gonna thorn whip.
Okay, Thorn Whip.
Boom.
Thorn
Oh,
whip
wait,
this is a bet.
You're gonna what?
10 to hit, which doesn't hit.
10. Then that does not hit. Anything
All
else?
right. Nope. Goodbye.
All right. Goodbye. Corby, you're up, followed by Uvarheims.
See you later.
I'm gonna try again with help action Uvarheim
Okay.
and then attack. That is 13 to hit.
That does not hit.
Ugh. Okay, then let's see again. That's better. That's a 17 to hit.
That hits.
1 damage.
1 damage. Oh no. All right.
Oh, sorry. It's actually 4 damage. It was 1 on the
Okay.
die.
That's a little more like I was like, holy crap, what happened? 1 damage. All right. Very good. Next up then is Uvarheim. And then
All right,
Zabet, you're on deck.
12 for my wisdom save.
You pass.
Okay, I guess
You did it.
having successfully stabbed it, I am finally able to, like, yes, and I feel charged up. I'm gonna use my bonus action, fly away before I cast a spell. To
Okay.
get some distance.
And does that promote opportunity
It does
attacks?
not. No
Okay,
opportunity
very good.
attacks. And then I'm gonna use a second level chromatic orb on it.
Go for it. And
With advantage because of assist or help. I mean,
Yep. What
Okay.
element are you casting
Oh,
this chromatic
and
orb as?
and I'm twinning it, by the way.
Very good.
Winning!
I am gonna use thunder, and
Okay.
I actually just rolled a natural 20.
Yeah.
Nice.
I will roll the second one as well. Is
Okay.
that one also with help, or is that a straight roll?
I think you only get help
Let's
on
see.
one of them, isn't that right?
Could be a attack roll, I think.
The first attack roll is made with
Okay.
advantage.
The second one misses. It's only a 10.
Okay. So first one, critical hit.
Okay, so let's roll damage on my
I always thought Twin Spell had to be a
4d8.
different target.
With
I was
chromatic
gonna
orb
attack one of
specifically.
the the arms, the tentacles.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
And I think chromatic orb is one of those special ones where like it's technically like an area that you're shooting it at, so it can be twinned. It's one of the special spells when twinning is considered.
Oh my god! I just rolled really high. Okay, wait.
Oh shit.
20. Oh, wait. Am I doing that math right? 14
What did you
plus
roll?
11 is 25. Times 2
Yes.
is 50. I just did 50 damage.
Yes, you did. All right.
Jesus.
Let's see. How much health do I even have left? You. Holy fuck! How do I describe this? There's so much damage. Your thunder orb erupts with such power that it almost this entire creature is blown away. You see both of the remaining pseudopods just be completely scattered. Some of it splatters against the tree, and you can see a slight smoke rise from where the bark starts to sizzle and burn away. A little bit more splashes onto a bush nearby, and you can see the leaves just wilt where it lands. But all of this begins to evaporate. This thing is but a husk of what it was when you guys started with this eruption. There's barely any of it left. Is there anything else you'd like to do on your turn?
It's a birds, man. That's all.
Okay. All right. Having received such a massive chunk of damage from Uvarheim, it's going to reach out and try to grapple you. Go ahead and make a dexterity save.
17.
Nice.
17. Yeah, you pass again. That's all it can do. It's in its now weakened state. Zabet, it's now your turn.
I rolled a wisdom save for fun. I rolled a 13. Minus 2,
Yeah,
though.
you pass.
Fail, right?
You still pass. You still pass, actually. You're
Okay.
good,
All right, either way, I'm still flanking.
I think.
Yeah,
You passed.
Okay, cool. I'm still flanking, still raging. Just gone insane. Have lost it. Oh, not good. 15 to hit.
15 hits.
Cool.
Just barely. That's the AC.
Plus 7. Ooh, a 10. 17 slashing.
17 slashing damage. Yeah, as you bury your great axe in this thing, how would you like to kill it?
So Uvarheim's lightning or thunderbolt chromatic orb goes inside of it and is like in there, like cackling energy in all different parts, just radiating within. It's like being contained by the ooze. And I just come down right down the middle of that orb and I smashed orb, making his thunder energy explode as there's just like thunderous boom as it just splatters everywhere.
Absolutely, yeah. And
Like
you
breaking the atom.
A little bit like splashes up onto your chest and onto your face, and you feel just a slight sting as it like you know how when you get hydrogen peroxide on a wound, it stings for just that moment as it bubbles and evaporates away, leaving your body unharmed. And that's going to be the end of combat. So I'm going to go ahead and stop it.
For the
Yeah.
rest of my rage, I will continue hacking away at this blubber, and if it like fades away completely, I will just hack at the ground, like digging up, trying to find out where it went.
Yeah, and you guys all see this as this ooze sort of reduces to nothing sizzling, and see little wisps of miasma flying away on the wind. You see Zabet just like going to town, still trying to find if this thing had gone underground or what.
I think it's dead. Zabat.
I don't pay attention.
From
Hey,
over your guys' shoulder, you guys hear Molly's voice, and she just says, "Its bonds have come loose."
What?
It
It
spawns.
spawns.
Its bonds
Oh, bonds.
have come loose.
Bonds.
Oh.
BONDS
I thought you were saying it
bonds.
spawned more like, oh
Bonds.
crap.
Covered in bonds.
Its spawns have come loose. Oh shit!
Af-
It's
Is that a
inside
good
you
thing?
now.
Should it be bondless?
Well, as I said, this is a corruption. What happens when souls haven't been cleansed? You've released it from what kept it here. I believe
Dead.
the Ariels here can help us from this point.
And at this point, I suppose the minute has passed, and I just drop my great axe, and I just kind of look around, kind of blank, and go, "What happened? Is everyone okay?"
You smashed it good. Good job.
Oh, and
Yeah.
I look over at the bird guy, whatever your name is, say, "Good job."
Yeah, you guys see this masked, bird-like creature just kind of brushes shoulders off. Doesn't seem to be bothered by whatever encounter you guys just had.
I pick up
But
Molly.
you guys hear, you hear Molly as you begin to pick her up, and she just says, "Well, it's the final duty of the king to make sure that the corruption stays gone."
but
I thought that we were keeping you alive or something.
yeah, you don't have to give up your last life, right, Molly?
At this point, she sort of bounds out of your hands. Even though you had just picked her up, she jumps out of your hands and goes over to where you had just been hacking at the ground, and you see her sort of like paw at the dirt. And as she does, little bits of black ooze begin to bubble up from beneath the earth once again.
I run over there and pick her up. Don't touch it, Molly!
As I said, it's the final duty of the king to make sure that the corruption is contained.
Well, like, how do you do that?
Kneeling. Yeah, okay, yeah.
Well, and you guys also hear, besides your own, protesting, you guys hear the Ariels speak up as well, and they say, "King, we can do this ourselves. We don't need your help. You don't need to worry about it." And after a moment of sort of quiet contemplation, you see Molly sort of close her eyes. You've seen her like bright yellow and bright blue eyes, and you can see Molly now really focus on something. And you guys, as you see this burbling black ooze begin to sort of come back up from beneath the ground, you guys feel your consciousness sort of wander along with Molly's. And you guys can feel yourselves sort of... you return to the image of this cellar where you guys had seen right before coming over to the island. You guys see now in the brightened doorway of this cellar so you know how like a cellar door would open up to the outside and you would go down the steps. So you see in the brightened doorway of this cellar, you see the image of Mina, and she just has her hand completely covering her face. She is staring at and is in awe of the image of Matthew now, and you guys see him completely covered in blood, like the whole front of him and his face and his arms splattered with cat blood. And you hear him call out to her, and he says, Mina, I'm glad you're finally feeling well enough to walk around. The potions must have been working. Here, I just finished this one. And you see him sort of take a few steps towards her, and he says, it's your medicine. And you can tell just by looking, she is terrified of this. And even though she's like aghast by seeing Matthew in this state, she doesn't seem to make any motion to flee. But she looks around the room and sees dozens of caged cats, and many more, as I said, up on chains and hooks. And she says, "These are the ingredients?" And you can see like the blood in her face sort of starts to pour. Like, her face turns pale, and you can tell she's even feeling a bit nauseous. We hear Matthew respond to her, and he says, I met with that wizard, and he told me that because cats have 9 lives, I can make an elixir that'll extend yours. Isn't that great, Mina? And you can see him now kind of smile with this wide grin, and even though he's got blood splattered halfway up his face, he's just ecstatic to have found the solution. He's got a bloody cleaver in his hand, and the table behind him is just sort of drenched with cat blood. And he sort of loses the smile for a second and looks at her straight in the face, and he says, how unfair is it that these beasts have so many lives? And at this point, you can see Mina like beginning to panic. Just a couple of tears begin to run out of her eyes, and she says, "Matthew, what happened to you? How could you do this? You aren't this kind of person." And once again, you see a small smile return to Matthew's face, and he just kind of comes over to her and gently embraces her. And he says, I can because it's for your sake. And as he says this, you see Mina's body go absolutely stiff. Completely stiff as a board. And let's see, Zastara and Uvarheim, you would recognize this as a paralyze spell taking hold.
Oh.
And you see then Matthew sort of caress her face very gently and then lifts her chin so that she faces the ceiling and bring down her jaw.
Oh my god.
And then pours the contents of this vial that he's created into her mouth before closing it and saying, you don't have to be scared. With this, your frail body will heal itself. And after a moment, you see, with tears still rolling down her face, Mina regains control of her body and sort of grips her stomach and falls to the floor and is sort of like grunting and writhing in agony. And you see Matthew kind of lean over and try to comfort her. And he says, Mina, it's okay. He said it'll only hurt in the beginning. You'll be well after this. And you can see she sort of grits through the pain, you know, how somebody who might be in the midst of having just intense, like, stomach pains might, if you know how you, when you really bend over and press against your knees, you can feel a little bit better. She's in that position. And she looks up to Matthew again, and he says, don't worry, I'll be with you. And you guys see her just staring at him right in the eyes. And the final thing you hear is her calling out, Matthew, before she dissolves into a horrible black ichor.
Oh my god.
And you see this ichor sort of splash against the floor with the force of gravity. Matthew, already covered in blood, is just drenched with this ichor that used to be Mina. And you see his face just go white with horror. And after a minute, you hear him calling, like, Mina, Mina, Mina! And he's like scooping, he's trying to pick up this ooze, put it back together, get it into his hands, make cups, like try to pick up what used to be Mina. And you can just see the ooze sort of flowing between his fingers as it pours back to the ground. And he says, why, Mina, why, Mina, Mina, Mina? And you can see now he's like pressing his ooze covered hands across his face. And he's just pulling his face down, Mina. And you guys sort of, like I said before, are pulled backwards now through the door of this open cellar. And you can hear him just screaming, why? Why? Even echoing out of the cellar as you guys, are withdrawn from this space. And after a few moments, you guys all see Matthew sort of walk slowly, almost like you would expect a zombie to, you know, how they sort of shamble and lean side to side as they move. And you see him just now completely covered, like his face, his shoulders, his chest, his arms, all covered in this black ooze. And he says, I know now. It wasn't enough. I still need more. I need to gather more. I need to gather more. And at this point, you guys see that pure white cat that you guys had seen in several of your other visions. You guys would know this to be Tim, the first king of cats. And you see Matthew notice him too, and he says, Tim, I'm glad you're here. Your precious Mina is in trouble, so... Alright? And he grabs an axe out of a nearby stump where a tree had been cut down. And from there, you guys see the scene sort of play out in the way that Molly had said, where Tim lunges from his standing position and just bites Matthew right in the neck with fangs sinking into his jugular. He begins to bleed profusely. Like, you can tell, even a layperson could tell that this is a mortal wound, and blood just begins pouring down his chest as Tim, he's swinging his torso back and forth, and Tim is just kind of hung from from Matthew's neck. You hear Tim speak, and you hear Tim say, "You're not a human anymore. You're a demon. You were deceived by a demon into becoming a pitiful demon yourself. I can't let you live, and I can't let you die in peace." And from there, you guys just see those dozens and dozens of cats that you had seen running past the window in that vision of Tim on the windowsill, now surrounding Matthew, and they pile on him, and they bite, and they claw, and they tear, and they drink his blood, and they chew his flesh, until after a moment, there's nothing left. And when you guys return to yourselves, you guys are still on the island. This pile of ooze, let me make sure that I can get rid of it properly, is not there any longer. But you guys do see Molly now sitting above where the ooze had begun to pile up. And next to her, you see the ghost of Mina sort of hovering in the air now, glowing translucent in the moonlight. And you hear her speak to you guys. She says, "I've made you see something terrible, haven't I? I only intended for you to erase us, but you seem to have a powerful gift of sight, and for that I'm sorry." And with this, you guys... Yeah, go ahead.
Zabet just starts crying.
All right. Yeah, you guys see this powerful Minotaur, just sort of break down, and as much as you saw tears stream down Mina's face, you now see tears streaming down Zabet's face. And you guys see a stream of that same black miasma begin to twist up from the ground and make that same swirling motion around Mina as it had before. Only this time it seems to pile into a coherent form. You see it almost fill up the shape of a man. And after a time of it pouring into the space, you guys see what seems to be a now cleansed version of Matthew. He glows and is translucent in the same way that Mina was when she just appeared to you guys. And this sort of dark smoke that accompanied him, this miasma, begins to blow away, and you can see this man is that same sort of simple-looking, short-haired brown-haired man, also wearing now a similar farmer's outfit. He's got the suspenders, he's got the vest, he's got very heavy-looking pants and working gloves. And he just looks to Mina and smiles, and he says, "With this, we can return to where we belong." And you can see Mina just sort of scoop him up and hold him to her chest, like a mother might do for a child. And then after a moment, you hear Molly speak up, and she says, "Well then, I will lead the way. This is my 9th life, and I'll be returning soon, but I should be able to guide you where you belong."
Where are you taking them?
To where we all return to in our time. Death is always sudden, and it comes to us all sooner or later, but as the last king, this should be my responsibility.
Well, good. They should end as all things should.
Please tell my girl that I'll be taking my memories of her with me, and that I'm thankful for the time that we spent together.
Okay.
I can do that. Yeah.
After a moment of this agreement and sort of quiet contemplation, you guys see Molly sort of motion with her shoulder, and just over the edge of the trees off in the distance, you guys see the sun just begin to peak You guys apparently having been in this trance for longer than you may have expected. The sun now rising, you see Matthew and Mina and Molly all sort of walk off, hovering slightly above the water, and before long you see them disappear into the trees.
Well, glad that those things are over. No more weird black thingy, blob thingies.
Yeah, that was a little creepy.
Where are we, like, in context of the house that we saw earlier?
The house that you saw, like the one that the young girl had come out of?
Mm-hmm.
So you guys are probably a few miles out of town. Like this lake
okay.
is, yeah, if you thought of the town of having suburbs, then this would be even just a bit farther than that. This is on the outskirts of town. So you would be able to see like the small wisps of people's fireplaces, people beginning to cook breakfast off in the distance. But you could tell that these are a fair ways away. And as you gaze in that direction, you see another Corby appear in the same sort of garb, the same black shawl, exact in every way to the one that you guys have been traveling with up until now. And he appears right in front of you, Uvarheim. And he says, "These are the precious gifts of tragedy we gather for the Queen of Memories. Keep the tenets learned here today always close to you as you travel your world."
Okay, kill bad things. Got it.
Even though you can't see his face beneath this black silken shawl, you can see, like, I don't know, there's something you're perceiving as a smile. Like, you can't see any teeth and you can't see lips upturned, but you can tell that this creature is pleased. And he says, These are the shards of memories we should also collect for the Queen of Memories. These will be your offerings."
Okay.
And you can see he reaches up to your forehead and with those same sort of clawed hands pulls away from your forehead, and you can see this light. It looks almost like a string of light. It's glowing, and it looks similar to the sunrise that you saw coming up over the trees just a moment ago, but it's just a very thin line connecting your head and this person's fingers. And with his other, he reaches over and snips it with those clawed hands, and it sort of coils and becomes a small, like, ball, a small spool of this string in his hands. And he hands it to you and says, "Your first offering."
Is that like my... okay, sure. What do I do with it?
When the time comes, you'll know exactly what to do. But for now,
weird.
Thanks, Birdman.
Bizarre.
now you need to go back where you belong. And you can see he raises his hand, and as it does, there's like this shadowy aura, this almost pouring black smoke that comes off of it, and he waves it across your field of vision. And with that, you guys are about all back in the Firefly Cellar.
Where's Zabet?
them too?
Zabet is not, though. It's
So Zabet is wherever Zabet started,
Okay, yeah.
and Zastara is wherever Zastara started.
okay.
But as far as this one shot is concerned,
Uvarheim is back
that's
in the
the end.
Firefly Cellar.
Yeah. Uvarheim finds himself back in the Firefly
yeah.
Cellar.
And he hears this tune.
Yeah, he suddenly feels the compulsion to sing.
Do, 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 do,
That was fun.
do, 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 do.